cash in the boxing world. And if you're just starting out, well, it can be a very costly exercise indeed. But don't take my word for it. Here's the former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver.
You're turning professional and you're boxing, let's say, York Hall on a non-televised fight. You have to sell tickets to earn any money, but you have to cover the wages of your opponent as well. So if you don't have the ability to be able to sell enough tickets...
Top dog's pockets isn't the norm in a typical fight.
Let's say you're lucky and you get between 5 and 10 grand. You're going to get 10 grand max for that. 10% goes to the trainer, 25% goes to the manager. Then we've got the tax man to pay as well. So we're cutting that money in at least half. So now you've got 5 grand for a 10-week camp. So you're talking about a guy here earning, he might be clearing 500 quid a week. How do you support a family on that? So boxers chase the dream. And, you know, there's probably 2% of them that actually make it.
So say you do make it and you start to rise up the ranks. Strikers Boxing, a training academy, says the mid-tier fighters can earn more, somewhere between £10,000 and £50,000 a fight, depending on record, profile, opponent and popularity of weight class. It's only at the top level does the real cash start flowing in, with the top-tier professionals, i.e. those going for titles, earning 6 figures a fight. Something else you'll have heard of is the terms prize fighter or journeyman. A prize fighter is, as it sounds, someone who picks up fights where they can and gets a nice big check if they win. Journeymen are the fighters who take on up-and-comers, effectively used for experience in the ring. Even if they're going up against the real prospects, a young Anthony Joshua, for example, these guys will be lucky to earn more than 10 grand. So the average boxer isn't as rich as you'd think.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, August the 12th. This is the talkSPORT Breakfast Show with Arnold Clark. I'm having an absolute nightmare on my new headphones here.
Mine don't even work.
Oh, joining me in the studio this morning, having even more hassle with new headphones, is Gabby Agbonlahor. Gabby, are you just getting the one in?
I've got one in, mate, for now.
Yes, Gabby and I adapting well to the new system here at talkSPORT Breakfast. We're here, of course, with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online with a few clicks. They make buying your car easy. A lot easier than putting on these new headphones. What's wrong with the ones you used to stick on your napper?
I think they covered the whole screen of the TV, that's why.
Is that right?
Because they were so big.
That's maybe not a bad thing with some of the way you look at them.
Yeah, and I think people's heads like Brazil were that big without headphones.
Has Mr. Brazil seen the new headphones?
No.
Oh my
I think we have to pre-warn him, Ali.
Oh my goodness.
Before he comes in.
Listen, we're talking about the new studio here now. The new studio is kind of high-tech and all that stuff, and it's kind of looking the part. What happened to my view?
I've been silenced, mate.
I can't comment. Silence, right? Nobody's sworn me to silence. So this is a shambles, right? Nobody has sworn me to silence yet.
I do miss the
I'm
view.
laying down the law. We used to have the best view in the world, right?
Yep.
Easily. Now, 17th floor, you should look across the city, HMS Belfast, Tower of London down on the right-hand side, and now we've got a massive big talkSPORT thing stuck away. But the thing is, It's not even needed for anything.
No.
Because look, the cameras are pointing
Exactly.
every other way.
Exactly.
So
I've
here's
got an
what
idea.
I think. I propose at the first break at 6:15,
Move it.
you and I do a bit of DIY.
But you know what, Ali? I'm looking at it, and it's a massive TV. That would look amazing in my house. So I think we should wheel it,
yeah.
and then deliver it to Birmingham.
I'm going to order a transit van for you as we speak. I'm going to order a transit van. We'll get it organised, mate.
Brilliant.
So listen, I've not seen you for ages. Tell me how you been, mate.
Yes, all well, mate. Can't complain. Had a couple of weeks away. Went to Sardinia and Dubrovnik. Loved it. Loved Dubrovnik. Outstanding.
It's
mate.
meant to be beautiful.
Yes, stunning, Ali. You have to get yourself over there. A lot of Croatia, I've heard, is very stunning.
That is.
The
My big
biggest
mate, you
part of
remember
it,
big George Alberts that used to play
Yes.
with Rangers? Yeah.
Centre back or left back?
Left side, like a
Side,
left shot, the hammer. He always raved, and I'm talking to almost 20 years ago, about Croatia.
Lovely, mate.
Every holiday he used to go to Croatia, loved it, mate.
Went to the old town, mate. No dirt, no rubbish, no problems, no idiots. No idiots abroad. Just, somewhere nice, mate.
Tidy and all
Yeah,
that.
just tidy, lovely. What about yourself?
Oh, I had a brilliant break, mate.
Yeah.
I had a week way up north, Sutherland, beautiful.
Lovely.
Absolutely beautiful. And we walked and we fished and we just ate the best food. And then how long did we go? A couple of weeks in Portugal, which was absolutely amazing. Portugal was amazing.
Didn't Crookie ruin it and ask to meet?
Aye, Crookie turned. Do you know what I mean? He turned up, and I was trying to avoid him like a plague, to be honest with you. But you know what he's like? He turned up at the door, chapping the door, asked me to take him
I bet he did.
asked me to take him for a beer. So I thought to myself, I might as well, you know.
You're trying to switch off from work for a few weeks, Ali, because of a busy season, and Crookie wants to come and talk about transfers.
Oh, mate, it was good. No, I saw Crookie, a couple of years with Crookie. And then I had the best week ever. Went over to Iceland fishing.
Iceland?
Oh, mate,
Yeah.
An absolute gentleman, a lovely, lovely man. My boy called Peter Rippon, Arsenal fan, right? He runs the Aurora Lodge on the East Ranga River, right?
Yes.
And we went over there at about 6 fishing for the salmon. What a place this is. The lodge is absolutely out of this world. I mean, I don't want to tell him because it was that good. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, Donnarumma.
The food was like a Michelin star chef, right? So we'd have breakfast in the morning, up for about 7 o'clock. The river was amazing. The river was, I don't know how long it was, but it was 10 beats on it.
Yes.
So we went to a different beat every session. With a session in the morning, afternoon, morning,
Just
afternoon.
constantly fishing.
Oh, wait, I tell you, mate, we're on the river at 8 o'clock, right? And lunch was at 1. We're back into the lodge at 1. And then we're on the river again at 3 till about 8. So we're fishing 9-10 hours.
And just cooking obviously whatever you catch.
The food was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the fresh salmon you could keep, I think it was 3 year allowed to keep. So the boys have froze them, bringing them back and all that stuff. But the lodge was quality. One of the best, if not the best lodge I've ever been in, mate. As I say, the people were great. People from England, Italy,
Lovely.
Belgium. And the fishing was just, and the guides were just brilliant. Because I'm not the greatest caster.
Yeah.
Right? But the guide, just a lot of time, come on, all right.
Helping you.
We'll go away for an hour, show you how to cast and all that stuff.
But don't you think as well that it's nice to switch off for a bit, Al?
Well,
because the season's such a long season, this season coming up, then the World Cup afterwards, I just enjoy 2 weeks of literally no sport, don't want to know what's going on,
Gab,
just switch off.
You've got to come fishing with me then, because I
100%.
swear I'm sitting, or I'm wading in the river. Getting the wade with the wade. You get the waders on. Some of the fishing you're doing from the bank, some of the other fishing you're in the river. So and I'm looking up the river, not a soul for miles.
Yes.
Looking down the river, not a soul for miles.
Peaceful.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Only thing with it, you could hear the fish jumping. There'd be a couple of swans. Honestly, I loved it.
Yes,
mate.
relaxing, mate.
Oh,
Deserved.
brilliant it was. And then I came back on Saturday, flew into Glasgow, saw the big man, he was playing, watched him, and then I went to Oasis on the Saturday night in
What was that? In Glasgow?
Murrayfield, Edinburgh.
Wow.
Out of this world, Gab.
Was it? Yeah.
I mean, I knew they'd be good.
I've heard.
I knew they'd be good, but the boys were just phenomenal.
I've heard as well, everyone that anyone's been to, they're saying, it's better than what they thought it'd be.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew it'd be good. I knew it'd be good because they weren't going to mess about coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your reputation's at stake and all that stuff. But fantastic, mate.
Yep, lovely, mate.
Fantastic.
Great
We're
summer
back
then.
into it, mate.
Yes, let's do
We're
it.
back
Big
into
season
it.
ahead.
We better start talking about some football. So Palace's Community Shield celebrations were cut short yesterday we all knew this was going to happen, didn't we? As they found out they were playing in the Conference League this season. The ruling also means Forest's spot in the Europa League is confirmed. No fault of theirs, though, I must admit. So good luck to them. Here's former owner Simon Jordan and who he blames for the European relegation.
You can win any of these competitions, like the League Cup and the FA Cup, and get into a European competition. And half the teams in the league are able to achieve it. So the fact they didn't prepare for this is poor. And it's very easy to make Textor the villain of the piece. If you want to make him the villain of the piece with Leon, fine. You can have our questions to argue over there. If you sell your shares to somebody, and then you allow him to go buy a majority shareholding in another football club, and you don't resolve the issue for a rule that's been existing for 17 years, and then you watched it play out in 2017 with RB, so you knew the parameters, you knew the dynamics of it, then it's on you. And you can blame...
On who?
On the current management of Crystal Palace. It's on Blitzer, it's on Harris, and it's on Parish.
What do you think? I think deep down what Simon says is probably right, but it's harsh. And he'll say they knew the rules, and he's right, as Simon often is, but it's blinking harsh, isn't it?
It's harsh, but rules are the rules.
Yeah.
You basically, as an ownership, didn't back your team to win the FA Cup. You were as shocked as most of us. For a club that hasn't won a trophy, Ali, a major trophy, you can't blame the ownership to think, look at the big clubs left when you get to the quarter-final stage. And then when they tried to do it, it was too late. So rules are rules, and I think a lot of owners will learn off this.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm looking at? I was at the game on Sunday.
Good team, mate.
Oh, one of the highlights as well was those Palace fans.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, we know the Liverpool fans are great, but the Palace fans, the last twice I've been to Wembley and seen them against City in the Cup, and obviously on Sunday, they were fantastic. All I kept thinking about, they're going to enjoy a European trip. Are those boys going to enjoy a European trip?
And they're going to make Selhurst Park a fortress in Europe.
By the way, they could win that, I'm telling you right now.
Of course they could.
They could win the Conference League.
With that team, as long as they get a few more in to help them.
That's what I think.
Their squad is quite light.
Spot on, mate.
The starting team, Ali, I love watching them. I think on their day,
brilliant.
They can beat anyone on their day.
They've got a great balance of three centre-backs alike. Munoz on the right, Derek Mitchell on the left. Brilliant. And by the way, I'm having Adam Wharton all day. Will Hughes was terrific when he came on. Kamada went off. Terrific when he came on. And Sarnez, they've got a bit about them, haven't they?
Because on the counter-attack, you've got like 3 Whippets, Mateta, Sarr, Eze, and they just look like they're in a good place, Ali. No one's trying to force through a move. Eze could go to anyone and start. He's not trying to force through a move. Mark Gahey, year left.
That's the one.
New contract, all you leave. But there's no, he's still playing, he's still captain in the side, he's still showing his love for the club. And I think they're in a great place, Crystal Palace. And I'm like you. I was there for the semi-final against Villa. And I was watching, I'm like...
They're terrific, weren't they?
These Palace fans are creating an atmosphere. And that makes a difference for players.
Of course it does.
Like, fans don't realise it makes a difference. Like, you see that atmosphere, you're just like, whoa, okay, I'm pumped up even more now.
I thought they were brilliant. Yes. Right, mate, we're going to take your calls this morning on Palace's demotion to the Conference League. Is it a worry that achievements on the pitch are being taken away by issues off it? I'm not so sure. What does everyone make of Forest and Marinakis getting an instant promotion to the Europa League? Not their fault, in my opinion. Palace fans of all clubs, get involved. 03717 22 33 44. Coming up, we're going to turn our attention to the back pages and whether Emma Raducanu was out of order for kicking a baby out of the crowd at her match. That's next.
like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Now when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. Wanna pull up tough cause you notice that butt was stuffed deep in the jeans she's wearing. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring. Oh baby, I wanna get whipped up and take your
I've got to say, Gabby, the way you're moving your body there, you're having a bit of
Oh, this is a bit you, though.
that. I like that.
This is a bit of you, I know it is.
I do like that.
Absolutely.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby, one of the unmistakable tones of Sir Mix-A. Did you know that?
No.
Never did I, but I'm having it. This Tuesday morning, we're playing it because today, Mr. Mix-A, is it Mr. Mix-A? Yeah. It's Sir Mix-A-Lot. I've got it totally wrong. I apologise to Mr. Mix-A-Lot and his thousands and millions of fans out there. But what I can do for Mr. Mix-A-Lot, I can wish him a very, very happy birthday. He's 62 today. I can't believe a 62-year-old singing songs like that, but I'm very much enjoying it.
Legend back in the day.
Absolutely. Right, we're going to take a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle selling clothes? Save in style with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big three networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
And she's back, and I've missed her. I can't lie to you, I've missed her.
I have as well.
Oh,
I have.
And it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't miss them until you're actually missing them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You sometimes take good things for granted.
Yes.
And we've been doing that, Gabby. How are you?
Are you guys talking about me?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever said to me.
No, your husband must have been nice to you once.
Aye, maybe once, but 10 years
What, before he's going Marbella on a lecture?
before
Oh,
I just squeezed Gabby's arm. You've been working out, pal.
I do try to do a little bit now and then.
well, whatever you do, don't come over this side. Or you'll get through the other side.
Your bingo wings. By the way, I'm on a pre-season diet.
Are you?
Why?
Last day of holiday, we're out at a sushi restaurant. One of our friends, my sister-in-law, early pregnant, so you're not allowed a lot of sushi at that stage of pregnancy.
That's right.
So somebody had told the maitre d', we've got a pregnant woman, so we need one of the dishes hot. 14 of us at the table. They asked me if I'm pregnant.
Shut up.
Oh, you're joking.
So I'm at fat camp.
No way.
Yeah.
That's one of the worst things any man can do.
There's a woman.
Was it a woman? What did you say to her? No, I'm not actually. Thank you very much.
Stuck the nut in her.
Imagine. Oh, it was a woman.
Yeah.
That was maybe she tactically been bitchy then.
And she said, do you know what she said? She said, no, I was told it was the woman wearing white. There was 4 of us wearing white.
Oh, she's trying to get herself out it.
I went, no, I'm not pregnant. I'm just a fat cow.
Oh my God. Is that one of the worst things you can do as a man?
Yeah.
See, I've actually done it myself once. When are you due? When are you due? Aye.
Who was that to?
Oh, I was at the airport one day. I was talking to this woman. Oh, lovely. When are you due? And she just looked at me. And I went.
She went 10 years ago.
I went, see you later. See you later.
Oh, God.
Horrendous.
Aye, it's not
beat
good.
a hasty retreat.
I don't get embarrassed often. My face was on fire and Jamie was howling at me.
Was he?
See, I didn't think you'd get embarrassed. I thought you'd have landed her one.
No, God, no. He was
but
like,
that's
I know, I've been saying the same thing.
Man.
That's what the summer's about, though. Enjoy
course it is.
yourself after the summer.
Seasonal pounds.
I've been a disgrace. I have been for 5 weeks a national disgrace with food and drink. Honestly, I really have.
That's what it's for.
I've been just ramming food down my throat. And I've been on a super bock drip. I was in Portugal and I couldn't be bothered putting it in my mouth, so I just attached it to a vein and was taking it intravenously.
Oh, God.
But I loved it. I loved it, man.
Yeah,
Did you have a good break?
Oh, best time.
How good is Villamura?
I know. Honestly, we've been there a few times and the people are lovely.
Smashing.
The crack's great.
Smashing.
The sun's there. The beach is stunning. The kids are happy.
Yeah.
What more can you want?
That's brilliant.
All
It's nice
over
to
it.
see you guys, though.
You
It's
too.
good. We're back into it.
You too.
Right, that's all we've got time for.
Right. That was the back pages this morning.
All talking about Jack Grealish.
Yes.
I love this move for one. I was saying on early breakfast there, I just think it's great for him. I know it's dividing opinion. Back page of the Times. Grealish out to reclaim his England place. Grealish sacrifice is back page of the Daily Mail. Looking at the back page of the Sun. Greal deal. But Savino, this is Savinho,
Yeah.
City not looking to sell Savinho now. He's linked to Spurs. And then the Mirror going for hitting the road Jack. Now, Jack Grealish going to Everton. Do you think this is the move that will get him back into the England squad?
I hope so. First thing I've got to say, I know Gary's tight and close with Jack. I just want to see him back playing. I think he's far, far too good to be sitting on MD's bench.
Yep.
And obviously, if he harbours any hopes of getting in the World Cup squad, which he will have, then he's got to be playing. And I think it's funny because a lot of people don't think, or maybe don't think, or don't see Jack as a Moisey type player. I think it's brilliant. Yeah. I really do. And I hope he gets in there. I hope he plays number 10. And I hope he sets the new stadium alight.
Do you know what as well? Sometimes, like, in his position, you can go to maybe another club that's maybe a bigger club in the sense of where they're going to finish in the table, but you're not playing regularly. Mm-hmm. With the seasons he had last season, he needs to go to a club where David Moyes says to him, listen, you're my number 10, you're playing. I want you in that number 10 role. Ndi off the left, might be McNeil off the right, Beto down the middle. They brought in Dewsbury Hall, who will start maybe with Idrissa Gueye or Garner or Alcaraz. So it's starting to look the midfield and the attacking positions like, oh, okay then. Let's take note of Everton and go and enjoy your football. A manager that will understand him as well as a person, as a player. You know him more than anyone, David Moyes. Like, he'll get the best out of him. Yep. Go and enjoy your football again, lad.
Yeah.
There's something about a player who's won it all at club, who's a multi-millionaire, saying, I just want to play football. Everton like me.
Yeah.
And he can completely resonate with the fan base as well, Jack. You know,
it's great. And do you know something as well? To his eternal credit, he's kept his mouth shut and no moaned. He's never moaned once.
No.
Yeah.
You know, you see a lot of them now. You look at Isak, for example, who I don't think's handled himself well at all. Right?
Good.
He might get, he's a tremendous player, absolutely out of this world, no doubt about it. Best centre forward, I think, probably, maybe even the planet last year, the way he was playing. But he's harboured that move, and it's as if he's kind of thrown the toys out the pram, and I want to go to Liverpool, I want to go here. Jack's never opened his mouth when he's not been in the team. It's easy to, throw the toys out the pram and say, I want to be playing, I need to get away, do this, do that, next thing. He's not, he's sharp, he's done his work. He deserves his move. Go over there, go and play, wee man.
Go and enjoy football.
Yes.
Paul Joyce says in the Times today, from there is the question of how Moyes and Grealish work together to bring the joy back into his game and propel Everton forward too. 8 of Grealish's first 14 Premier League goals were scored after a ball carry, and that is the player who needs to be restored. He's going to be hopefully unpepified under David Moyes. Yep. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking Jesse Lingard to West Ham under David Moyes, his goals, and I know that's not completely Jack's role in a team, but he got them into Europe.
Of course he did.
I mean, is there an element of that? Can David Moyes bring that Maverick Jack back?
Do you know what I seen the other day, Ali?
Mm-hmm.
I was on X, Twitter, and I seen a clip of training with Pep, and he was shouting at Grealish and Doku, and he was basically telling them, when you run down the line, cut back, pass it straight into the midfielder, and then they're going to hit a first-time cross into the box. And he showed that clip in training. And if that doesn't sum up what it's like to play under Pep Guardiola, nothing will. David Moyes isn't going to do that. Jack, get on that ball and make things happen to me.
Yeah.
With Pep, it's like, you've got to make sure you pass at the right time. If you receive the ball, don't be taking too many touches. He needs to play where he's in a number 10 position. I can go off the left, I can go off the right, I can enjoy football. I'm not going to get moaned at for coming into different spaces. He'll love it, mate, and I'm 100% sure he will shine.
I think so. I think you're right. Okay, he's shouting at me here. He's already shouting at me here. I'm just back a day and a half, and he's shouting at me here. We need to go to a break. But before we go to a break, Shaban, I cannot let you leave this studio. What's going on there on my view? The 17th floor.
Buddy. I know.
Come on, 17th floor, and I'm looking at a big talkSPORT sign that's not even facing a camera.
Do you want me to just unplug it and wheel it out the way?
But we're thinking about doing it.
Should we just do it?
We're thinking about doing it.
Oh, studio, we're
going to phone the boss, you know. A boss. He's going to come up with a big transit. Here, a boss. Get a big TV in the boss, and that'll be it finished.
He'll have it on the market, won't he?
Oh, we'll get a few quid for that. Thanks, you man. That was a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business. Coming up, do public dressing downs from managers work? And what is the actual purpose of them? We discuss that next.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle selling clothes? Save in style with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big three networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were absolutely sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895 they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money, but instead of entering league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. Think of it like the Harlem Globetrotters of football, and it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil, and the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest clubs in Brazil.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. What have I done to that screen? Honestly, this new studio, what is going on? I need to get a grip of myself. Come on, Coisty, sort it out, son. Time now to focus on the art of the public telling off or dressing down. What do we mean by that? When managers feel the need to address poor performance by embarrassing them in the full glare of the crowd and cameras. Well, straight away, we're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
Is it embarrassing them?
I'm thinking of myself as a player when I played. I would have been fuming because I don't know. I just feel, can't you do it in the changing room where you're used to it?
Yep.
I mean, I got it in every game, really. You know what I mean, Ali? You get the dress down in the change rooms quite a lot. But I just think in front of the fans, in front of the cameras, I don't know, as a player, and I can imagine even now, the players, this new school type of player,
yes,
quite embarrassed and maybe quite angry at that sort of dressing down. But I don't know if the manager at that time, was it planned? If we lose, we're going to do it? Is it something that just come into his mind after the game because of the result? I don't know. Only the manager can explain his reasons on doing it. What's your thoughts?
I don't have a problem with it.
No.
Having fell foul to a couple of public embarrassing things myself. I mean, I didn't mind it. I mean, I know there's probably a lot of, I don't know whether it's egos with big players, and I get it. I mean, I don't think I ever did it as a manager. Pardon me, excuse me. I mean, if I have, somebody would tell me. I don't think I ever did it to MD as a manager. I don't have a problem with managers kind of doing it collectively, you know, with the team, without maybe naming names. I don't have a problem with that. You know, if it's a public dressing ground for the side, you know. But if it becomes private and start naming names, they've obviously got a reason to do it, right? And if it's I think it's going to benefit the player, the individual, and then effectively the team, then I can understand the.
What if he doesn't know? What if Sheffield United lose the next game?
Well,
same score. Do you do it again?
that's a serious adverse reaction. I think you can only get away with it once. I really think you can only
one, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can keep doing it. You've got to have whether it's a last throw of the dice or perhaps Russell Martin was the same and the Sheffield United boys the exact same through with Sellers, and I'm just saying to myself, well, they're laying the law down early.
I listen, Russell Martin's different. I just feel with this one, Sellers, I just look at players are about to walk through the tunnel. You can go and do it in private. You can be even more aggressive in private, Ali. You know what it's like in changing rooms. You're hearing all the swear words possible. I just feel on the pitch, I don't know. Is it for the cameras?
Just to explain what happened, Rangers manager Russell Martin came out swinging in the press after an opening day draw at Motherwell, saying the players need to drop their egos. And you're right, Sheffield United boss Ruben Sellers are his players in the huddle after a hammered 4-1 at home by Bristol City on the Saturday evening. So both of them very, very public. Russell Martin's I don't have a problem with at all, right? And I'll explain to you why. He's come in to the job, he said, I'll look about, and he's went, right, I need to nail this immediately. First league game. We've had a couple of good results in Europe, by the way.
Yeah.
A couple of good results in Europe. But I need to nail this because domestically is the bread and butter. Well, clearly, after the Dundee United game, Dundee at home, it didn't happen. They didn't get the reaction he wanted after another great result in Europe, to be fair to him. So he's thinking to himself, now, was that poor result against Dundee at home similar reasons to the poor result at Motherwell? Was it a lack of the players dropping their egos, or was it something different? Fact of the matter is, my point is, he can't do the same again after the Dundee game, because if he's done it after the Motherwell game, and for whatever reason it's not worked, you can't put the same record on again, because the players clearly aren't listening, or somebody's not listening. So, but I don't mind them doing it for the Motherwell game collectively. That he didn't, to my knowledge, I don't think he picked it any. I know he left, I think, Raskin and Tavernier out.
That's what I mean. So for me, I was looking, and we were live on air when we got the team news for that European game, and it was like Rangers fans were throwing up. It's obvious who it is. It's Tavernier, it's Raskin. I'm watching them last season, I'm like, I've seen Tavernier put in very good performance, and Raskin in midfield.
Raskin might have been a player of the year.
Exactly, so I'm thinking, what's happening in the training ground? Are they being a bit big time? Are they being a bit speaking out when the manager's trying to put tactics across? Is it something like that?
Yeah,
you reckon?
We don't know. But the point is, Russell Martin's in charge, and he's got to make decisions that he believes will to be the benefit of the team.
Okay,
right?
put your 40 years ago, your player's hat on at Rangers, and that team gets named, and you're not in there. Everyone knows that you're the one the manager's talking about with the ego problem. How do you respond from that? I know Tavernier.
That's exactly how I respond. I get my sleeves rolled up and I get myself on the team for the next game. That's exactly how I respond.
But not all players are like that. You've got a Belgium international, centre midfield player, top player.
Yeah.
He might think, all right, that's it now. Get me out of here, my agent. You know, you can go either way, can't you? Sorry. You can go either way, can't you? You can roll your sleeves up and go and prove everyone wrong. Or, you know what, who's this Russell Martin guy? Like, I mean, I'll play for Belgium.
I know.
I'm a top player.
Well, you just hope, right, that I think he does the right thing. And that is, well, okay, I'll sit down with my manager. I'm going to see him after the game, morning after the game. I'll say, what was the reasons for leaving me out? Give Russell Martin his place. Russell Martin would probably tell him, well, I left you out because you wanted to do this in training, or you didn't do this the week before, or I need more of this off you, whatever the reasons are. And then you take it on board, and then you say, okay, well, I don't necessarily agree with you, or I do agree with you, see, but then you say, right, let's get on with it.
But sometimes you can go into their meetings with managers and just let it all out.
Yeah.
As men. I'd done it with Paul Lambert at Villa. We had it out on a training pitch, then we took it into his office, had it out in the office, and after that, got on unbelievably.
Yeah.
And I was like, first name on the team sheet, played every game under him. Sometimes then frustration, you know what? Lock yourself in the office, speak like men. What's the problem?
100%.
What's your problem? Okay, talk about it. Let it out.
100%.
Are you with me or not?
With you. Oh, totally.
No, I mean, as a manager, you say, are you with me?
Oh, yeah.
We want to catch Celtic. Joke's over. We're not going to double figures behind Celtic again. Are you with me? I need you with me.
Yeah, I get that. And it's also about knowing your players as well. You know, you have to know your players and see, because the fact of the matter is, you know, everyone would think, right, you've got to treat everybody the same, right? But you don't.
No.
Right? I don't get what anybody says. You don't. You don't treat everybody the same, because nobody is the same, right? you can have obviously rules and regulations and all that kind of stuff, but there are players, correct? There's players that need an arm round them.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe myself needed a size 9 up the rear end every now and again, you know, and
everyone's different.
And I got it.
Yeah.
Whether it was Walter, Graham, Big Jock Wallace, I got it when it was needed, when it was required. And I didn't mind, I didn't like it, and sometimes I didn't agree with it. But I got it and just got on with it.
Well, I was quite shocked before he named the team for the European game. We had a fan come on, and he's like, "It's Tavernier," and the fan was really angry with O'Dowd, is it?
Yes.
He was like, "He should never play for the club again." And I was like, whoa. Like, they really understood who the players were.
Oh, yeah. But that's... I mean, I don't think that's any different for any football fan up and down the country. They've got favourites and they've got guys in the team.
Tavernier's the...
Oh, he's been brilliant.
Captain.
Listen, he's a high-scoring defender in British football of all time, I think.
Exactly.
He's been brilliant, but if the standards drop,
yes,
then he has to be told.
Yeah.
It's the same as anybody else. And I think that's what Russell Martin is attempting to do in his early tenure as boss. I mean, there's been numerous public dressing downs, you know, between managers and players, and it's effectively how the player reacts.
Yes, totally agree. Do you think the Rangers fans have got to be very patient this season?
Yeah.
I know it's frustrating, and you want to be like, all right, we want to bridge the gap, we want to win the league, we want to beat Celtic, but they have to give Russell Martin a bit of time, don't
they've got to give it time. There's no doubt, and he's got to get his new players in. The first thing you've got to say, recruitment, when I say recently, I don't mean under Russell Martin's tenure, because it's far too early to judge. Recruitment's not been good enough. Recruitment's been shocking, effectively. And what's highlighted that, Gabby, is the fact that recruitment across the city has been very, very good.
Yes.
The recruitment at Celtic, you know, particularly under Big Ange, and he brought, you know, the couple of the Japanese lads in. They've been excellent.
Very good players.
Excellent. Terrific. So with a combination of Celtic's recruitment been very good, Rangers been very poor, you're right up against it. So you must give Russell Martin time. The same way you just get new owners come into the club. So that's going to take a little bit of time as well. The one thing that's come in, bought Leeds United, they didn't come in and start spending cash about. Organised things takes a little bit of time. I don't mind that at all. However, I don't, like a lot of Rangers fans, you can't really accept the level of performances against Motherwell and Dundee. Now, I'll say it again, the same as I said yesterday, Motherwell and Dundee were excellent. Motherwell, particularly second half of the first game, were very, very good and could have won the game.
I watched Celtic versus St Mirren. I thought St Mirren were very good defensively. Celtic won late on. I think it was 2-1, was it?
1-0, yeah.
And 1-0, sorry. But I think, do you think the Motherwells, the other teams in the SPL, they're bridging the gap a little bit by bit, with clever signings, and they're not just going to roll over?
Oh, you know something? I hope so. And I look at Aberdeen having a great start, but I look at Derek over at Hearts. I think Derek McInnes at Hearts will be good. I'm not sure in Europe. I don't think they've got Europe this year. And he's gone there from Kilmarnock, and had a good result up at United at the weekend. Hibs have had a fantastic result, beat Partizan Belgrade 2-0 away from home.
But you're not, your Rangers and Celtic, they're not playing Hibernian, St Mirren, Kilmarnock now, even at home. And like, it used to be when I was young, Ali, it was like, okay, Rangers and Celtic have won, they're on your racket, okay, what's next? And now it's a bit like, okay, it's still 0-0. Oh, it's 1-1.
But
it's not as easy as it.
Yeah, but if you're not a fan of Rangers or Celtic, that's what you want to see.
Of course.
You know, I don't think necessarily it's a bad thing for Scottish football.
Definitely not.
But famously in December 2008, a recently rich Manchester City took a 4-0 half-time lead against Hull City, who'd been going well, following unlikely promotion this season before. Now, the first half display upset manager Phil Brown so much that the half-team talk was conducted in front of the away end, with the players sat in a circle looking slightly embarrassed. Hull's next game after that was Gabby's Villa at home. The game ended 1-0 to the Villa. The Tigers did, however, stay up, so ultimately did it work. No better man to tell us at this point than Phil Brown, who joins us now. Phil, first of all, good morning. How are you, mate?
I'm fantastic. Honestly, I could sit there listening to you two. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I've got to say, you two came out loud and clear how you were as players. I don't know if that was meant, but how you were as players and how you would have reacted to a manager doing whatever he's done. Yeah. It came out loud and clear, and it sounded to me like Gabby would take it more personally than what you would, Ali.
Yes.
And then you would get on with it, you know. But it doesn't mean to say Gabby's a worse player or a better player.
Yeah.
It's the overall effect that you're trying to get across to your changing room. Your DNA of your changing room be of the manager, by the manager, for the manager, and he has to understand that. And every player that you're saying you bring in is a little bit of you.
Yeah.
And I might snap and take me bat and ball home and maybe do what Gabby would do. And I would also maybe accept that I deserve a kick up the backside and I'm going to perform the next game. So it's all about that individual in your change room, and you've got to understand it.
What were your players like, Phil, after that? Because I can imagine like playing in the same era, like some players, they embarrassed me that. Some players, you know what? No, let's roll our sleeves up. I don't want to go through that again.
Gabby, when I was deciding on doing it, and it was literally the fourth goal went in about 37, 38 minutes on the clock. I didn't even think about the wage bill difference. I didn't even think about, they had a great striker, Ravinho. He was worth 33 million. My budget was 16 million. And one player was worth twice. I wasn't thinking any of that rubbish. I was thinking, how am I going to get a tune out of these guys? And if you just made reference to that, the mighty Aston Villa were in town the following game, which was literally around about the Christmas time, Boxing Day, Christmas. Villa came to the KC Stadium and we were 0-0 with about 85, 86 minutes on the clock. We get given a penalty. We've got a penalty. Ashley Young has put his hand up. He's on the post from a corner. He puts his hand up and he looks like he tips it over the crossbar. So we're given a penalty. Howard Webb is the fourth official and he's on my left-hand side. He disappears down the tunnel. He runs down to the Sky cameraman and just says, did he handle the ball? And he went, no, he pulled his hand away. He ran down the touchline, told the linesman, and the linesman told the referee, and they give a goal kick.
Wow.
Villa then went up the other end and scored. I went into a press conference after that. I was absolutely furious. I went into a press conference after that, and the first question was, do you think you've lost the changing room? I've gone, what? Do I think I've lost the change room? We should have won that game 1-0.
Yeah.
It was 85, 86 minutes on the clock. A penalty was taken away from. There was no VAR. A penalty was taken away from us because Howard Webb ran up the tunnel and asked Sky, did he handle the ball? Unbelievable.
Phil, here's one for you, mate. In terms of public dressing downs, whether it's a manager or a coach giving it to a team collectively or individual players, do you think that players' mentality regarding that have changed over the years? Because I'll be quite honest with you, mate, I do, right? And people will say, there's the old dinosaur talking again. But I think back in the day, players would accept a rollicking from a coach or a manager, be it in private or be it public, and I think the majority of them would take it. Of course there'd be individuals, because I've just said everybody's different. But has the mentality of the player changed nowadays in regards receiving a telling off?
Well, when I decided to do this, Ally, I walk onto the pitch, when you walk onto the pitch, players are walking off the pitch. And the first guy I bump into is Ian Ashby, who captained the club right the way through the divisions, second division, first, Championship, Premier League. Great ambassador for Hull City. And Ash said, Gaffer, where you going? I said, we're going over there in front of the supporters to do the half-time team talk. He just spun round.
Yeah.
He just completely spun round and followed me. George Boateng had a little bit of a problem with it. And I thought, come on, George, you're one of the senior pros here. If you can't accept a dressing down, you must be guilty. You must be one of the guys who hasn't performed. And I was a little bit wary of certain individuals you were for and against. When you look at the younger lads, I don't think you can do that nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got to say it. Tom Kearney was part and parcel of growing up at Hull City when I was managing. And I overheard an interview he'd done a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember who he was working for, but he was doing a TV interview, and he just said, Phil Brown never accepted me as a number 10. And I've gone, whoa, where are you going with this? Why didn't you say that? Why didn't you come up to me? I think the modern day player now approaches, and that's Tom Kearney, who has been through the mill with me, etc., at Hull City, and he's gone to play Premier League football, and he's still playing. He's still a good player. So he's gone through that sort of changing, the dynamics of a group of players 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and now. And Tom Kearney's now coming out publicly saying what he should have said to me 20 years ago.
Yeah, but I would have went to Martin O'Neill. I would have never went to him and say, listen, I want to do this, or I'm not playing.
Why not, Gabby? Why not?
Frightened as a 19-year-old. Frightened of it's had that persona, Martin. Like you had as
But
well.
you earn your respect from the manager the same way as the manager earns his respect from you, and you grow together. And Martin O'Neill, I know Martin very well. I love the guy. I think he's fantastic, and I think he's one of them guys that he might have gone a little bit of Brian Clough saying, "Well, who do you think you are?"
Yeah.
But he also would then think, "Hold on a second, this guy's got a pair of gonads here. He's 19-year-old, and he's coming to me." So you earn respect in different ways, Gabby. But I'm on your side. I was a little bit fearful when I first walked into Mick Jones, Billy Ayres. I wouldn't dare knock the door down. Then all of a sudden they step over the line. You then go, "Well, hold on a second. If you're stepping over the line, I'm coming back at you." And you grow together. You grow together.
Phil, just in contrast to that, I was in a revolving door with Graham Souness and Walter, by the way.
Nice one.
Listen,
Ali, let me just finish with this. I was doing a bit of work for BBC Radio Manchester on Saturday, and I knew this was coming up. And Ruben Sellers, I had to do a little bit of homework, I had more research on it. Like you guys do before you do the show. And Ruben Sellers, he's got a first in sports psychology. He got his pro license before he was 25-year-old. So this kid knows a little bit about what he needed. He knew where he was going. He's coached in 5 or 6 countries before he came to England. And he's had some car crashes in England. When you think about Southampton, Reading, Hull City, there were car crashes, and he was having to deal with that, but he's still getting gigs. So this lad's got something, there's no doubt about it. Whether he's handled it the right way or whether it's too early for a group of Sheffield United players that quite simply are used to Chris Wilder, I'm not sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, time will tell, Phil. Listen, mate, you're looking great, and thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, Phil.
Top man, thank you.
Take care, Paul. Thanks very much. Big, massive thanks to...
Speak to him all day.
Brilliant. Former Hull manager Phil Brown there. Tremendous. Coming up in talkSPORT Breakfast, we're going to turn our attention to Hannah Hampton and whether she might have been caught out with some of her comments. That was brilliant, wasn't it? I enjoyed that.
Loved that, mate, yeah.
Wasn't it great?
Phil speaks very well.
Chat with Phil there, that was terrific. Now, still to come and talkSPORT Breakfast. Palace fans, Less than 24 hours after Community Shield's delight, another punch in the gut. CAS dismissed the club's appeal to stay in the Europa League and avoid Conference League demotion. 03717 223344. Now, here's an interesting one. Were you heartbroken? Were you really angry? Were you disappointed? Or is the Conference League more your level? I'm not sure I'd agree with that.
No.
But I'm interested to hear whether they're really devastated, or the fact that it's European football, they're still really got to be really looking forward to it, haven't they? And has Oliver Glasner had a bigger impact than Mikel Arteta? There's a question for you. All that and more to come, and that was our look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade with easy delivery tracking and 2-hour delivery time slots. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, here we go. It's a good one for you, Gab. After Ray revealed yesterday Raimondo stuck Big Al in it because he said Big Al was the worst snorer he's ever shared the room with, which effectively doesn't really surprise me. Adrian Durham had a story of his own, but it involved the Moose.
Ian Abrahams. Oh my days.
Oh my goodness.
Honestly, the worst night of my life.
Yeah?
I would have slept outside, but I'm scared of snakes. So I had to sleep in the same
They
room.
couldn't give you like a pool of like 5 people and you just get to pick.
He was the only one who was prepared to share. I mean, that's how many divas were on that trip.
Oh my
Unbelievable. It was like a trip full of Simon Jordans. It was incredible.
Who's the worst?
The worst snorer?
I named and shamed Big Paul yesterday. My mate I go fishing with.
Nightmare.
Oh dear me. I mean, normally I fall asleep. I can sleep in a bed in heels.
Yes.
Bang, down I go. But I was out of order actually one night. I taped him and videoed him.
Did you?
Snoring, aye. It was poor. And I sent it to wee Viv, just to let wee Viv know how lucky she was going to sleep with me and I don't snore like that.
My missus has recorded me. I don't snore anymore. For some reason it's gone.
Do you not?
No, but like when I was, and I heard it, mate, I sounded like some animal out the bloody jungle, mate. Like the noises I was making, like felt like I was losing my breath in my sleep. And like, I wasn't breathing properly. I was snoring. Like, I'm like, that's me. In the night.
No, mate. I've tried all. We've done that to me as well. I've tried the strips across the bridge of the nose. Not like
doesn't work.
No, but see if I lie on my back, disaster.
Yes, me too. Can't lie on my back.
Disaster.
Yeah, lie on my back.
You
snore.
must have. I had a couple of howlers in the plane, man. I've woke myself up snoring in the plane.
100%.
You do that. You're sitting next to some old lady and it's wrong. Hello there. You're looking like, oh man, it's embarrassing. It's a nightmare.
Ali, when I have a massage, I wake myself up snoring by snoring. I'm like, sorry to the lady massage. I'm sorry. And she's just laughing like
I know.
It's fine. I'm just like, I can't help it.
They must look on that as them doing their job really well.
You're on your back, aren't you? Obviously, you turn around to your phone. When you're on your back, game over.
Oh, but see, when I'm getting a massage and I put my head through that wee thing, that's me normally. I'm away.
Yeah, I'm gone. Mate. Gone.
Right, what have we got coming up? We're going to hear from a Crystal Palace fan who is fuming, I tell you, with the appeal loss. You don't want to miss this.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark App. Buy a car and opt into Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Did Nick say there's a boat coming across every 11 minutes here? I mean, what's going on? Every 11 minutes? Holy moly, guacamole.
Oh, some of them headlines he had.
I remember the day the German Navy couldn't get anywhere near our place, man. Honestly. And the old Navy was running up and down there running the show. Now they're getting in every 11 minutes.
And also, what's wrong with having a wee in a bottle? What? You know what I mean?
Imagine.
The change room is probably closed.
A centre forward's got to go and a centre forward's got to go. Right, Gabby. Emma Raducanu. Would you, I mean, she's asked for a baby to remove for the court.
No problem.
No problem.
No problem with it.
Got it, but you got it, haven't you?
I'm like that when I fly sometimes, Annie.
There you are.
Can you get all the babies off the plane, please?
I'll tell you. If she's asking them to get it moved for the court, she wouldn't have survived in my house 2 minutes. I'm telling you right now. When the twins were born,
can you imagine? Don't get those. I know.
Right, enough, Ed.
I know.
Oh, man. The Crystal Palace have lost their appeal to compete in the Europa League next season.
And the Eagles have landed it. Crystal Palace win the FA Cup for the very first time.
Oh, is what I thought. Am I allowed to say that?
Who said it?
God. Yeah, no, I didn't. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was so happy, but yeah, I was worried about what was coming.
And the Palace uprising continues. They dethroned Manchester City in the cup final, and now they have usurped the champions to lift the Community Shield 2025.
Crystal Palace are understood to have lost their appeal to CAS against the UEFA ruling that they must play in the Europa Conference League instead of the Europa League.
The fact they didn't prepare for this is poor. You sell your shares to somebody, you knew the dynamics of it, then it's on you. On the current management of Crystal Palace, it's on Blitzer, it's on Harris, and it's on Parish.
I believe we should have got through, but look, I'm looking at the other side of it. I think we can do what West Ham did a couple of years ago.
Wipe away all the negativity and I booked 2 flights to Berlin on May the 27th in anticipation of getting a train down to Leipzig and watching us in the final.
Crystal Palace fans,
Yeah, we can see it from a few angles. Palace's Community Shield celebrations were cut short, Gab, yesterday as they found out they'll be playing in the Conference League this season. The ruling means that Forest's spot in the Europa League is also confirmed. Former Leaguers owner Simon Jordan says it's now time, we heard him, time to move on. Have I just read that before? I haven't I? No, we're going to listen to Simon. I'm losing the plot here.
That's what I expected. Now they can get on with it, can't they? Now they can go and win a European Conference League and have another season in Europe.
Yeah, but what a mess.
Well, of their own making.
Who's making?
Of their own making, of Palace's own making.
Sure.
You know, whether if we want to bring Textor in it, want to bring Parish in it, they knew what they had to do, they didn't do it. Whether we like the rule, and it's a bloody stupid rule because currently 2 teams are in the Europa League, A, that didn't qualify there, and B, that would have been if they'd been in together, i.e. Lyon and Palace, that had no shared ownership. So it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's a victimless, it's almost a victimless crime. But the fact of the matter is that's the governance. There's a whole raft of discussions around it, but Palace can move on now, know where they are, they're in Europe, they're playing in the European Conference League, go win it.
I know, I just feel for the... Well, let's move on. We're going to speak to a Forest fan. We're going to get I beg your pardon, a Palace's fan perspective now. It's a Palace fan and podcaster, I beg your pardon, Ollie Thomas. Ollie, thanks for joining us this morning. How are you?
Morning, thanks for having me on, lads.
Great to see you, pal. Where are you on it? I mean, is Simon right? Is Simon effectively saying it's not good, it's a shame, however, the blame's effectively at Palace's own door?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue that it's of our own making. I'm reluctant to blame Steve Parish just because it wasn't his shares that were a problem, and ultimately you can't force someone to sell shares or to put them in a blind trust or whatever. I mean, God, the phrase blind trust, I can't wait to not have to say that ever again. Yeah. Now this is over. But yeah, I mean, he's right. The rules are ridiculous, and if you actually look at the integrity of the competition, it's not being threatened by Palace being in the Europa League. It wouldn't have been before. And the fact that Textor has sold his shares now anyway means we're getting kicked out of the competition entirely for an owner that doesn't even own us anymore, which is laughable, really. But part of me is just glad this whole thing is over. It's dominated the summer when we should have been celebrating the FA Cup win. We should have been looking forward to our first ever European campaign, regardless of whether it was the Europa or the Conference. It's a massive shame, and I completely disagree with where we've landed, but we are where we are. It's just good we can kind of draw a line under it now and get on with playing in Europe.
I think it's important as well, isn't it, to move on now from it. I know it can be very disappointing, you feel hard done by, but Conference League, look what West Ham went and did. You know, it's a big competition. There's no reason why, if this Crystal Palace side can get a few players in to help, can go and win it. Why not?
Exactly. I mean, there are definitely perks to playing in the Conference League over the Europa League. I think, as you said, it's a competition we can realistically go and win. As a Palace fan, that is somewhat terrifying. I'm not used to us going into a competition and being anywhere near favourites, but I think statistically we would definitely be up there. I also worried a little bit about the effect the Europa League would have on our squad in the league itself. I think, obviously, no disrespect to the Conference League, but the teams are by design worse than the Europa League. And I hope it has less of a strain on our squad because we've not really signed anyone this summer. And that's been massively affected our business by the Europa League, Conference League debacle. So I feel a bit more comfortable being in the Conference League, but ultimately you want to be in the Europa League. The best case scenario here is we win the Conference League, we're in the Europa League next year, we get 2 years of Europe instead. That would be perfect, but there's no guarantee that happens.
It's a strange one, Ollie, because I take your point totally. However, I would not sit here and say anything other than if you were in the Europa League, I think you'd still be one of the favourites on the recent form that I've seen you the last couple of games. Obviously, FA Cup, a fantastic second half on Sunday, I thought. Again, Palace. I think the big thing, I don't know whether you agree or not, will be between now and the start of the season if you can keep a hold of your players. Mark Gahey is obviously one we'd speak about, Eze, but I looked at the performance at the weekend, mate. So impressed again. I'm looking at your boys up front, Sarr. You've got pace up front, middle of the park, Adam Wharton. I thought Will Hughes was terrific when he came on. I like your wing backs. I know the Conference League, you've got a great chance of winning it, but you could have won the Europa League.
I mean, I think you are right. Spurs and Man United got to the final last year. Spurs won. We didn't lose to either of those teams in the league. In fact, we didn't concede a goal to either of those teams in the league last year. And this calendar year, I think I read the other day that we've played 25 games in all competitions and we've lost 4. We are in a really, really good place. And whilst we haven't signed anyone, it means we've got a really settled squad who know how to play with each other. And Liverpool are a brilliant team and we cause them a lot of problems. So, for what it's worth, I agree. But I suppose the Conference League maybe gives us a better chance of competing on multiple fronts this year. As a Palace fan, by the way, saying that out loud is mad. That we're in a position where, we've won 2 trophies this season and we're hoping to get 3rd next year. I kind of had to keep reminding myself, it's a bit of a first world problem. Like, it's Palace in Europe. We won the FA Cup. Worse things to us have happened in my life. We'll survive, I think.
Ollie, Mark Gahey, we heard the quote from Steve Parish that if he doesn't sign a new contract, then Crystal Palace can't afford to let a £40-50 million player leave on a free transfer next season. What do you think the outcome of that will be, mate?
I think it all depends on just buying clubs, really. Like we're definitely going to be open to selling him, I think, this summer. And I think we have to be, because not only does he only have a year left in his contract, there's also a kind of a bit of a ticking time bomb of sorts of Eze, who's only got 2 years left.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be in a situation with him in the same position next summer. It just depends on whether clubs are willing to pay the money. I mean, I think 40-50 million quid for Gahey is definitely a good deal. He is 100% worth that, and he would be worth more if he didn't have 1 year left on his deal.
Yeah.
I actually think in some ways the Liverpool game, well, it depends if you think we should sell Gahey or not. I think it could accelerate things, because I thought defensively Liverpool were not at it. I thought we were better than them. They're really, really lacking centre-back depth. They've been linked with Gahey a lot this summer and last summer. It makes me think maybe they'll expedite that and try and go for him before the window ends. And honestly, look, it's a win-win and a lose-lose as a Palace fan. I love Gahey. Another year of him at Palace in Europe, that's fantastic for us. However, losing him on a free would be bad. It would objectively be bad for us. And
it's not good business.
I trust our recruitment team enough to replace him effectively. We play a back 3. I think the importance of centre-backs diminishes a little bit in a back 3 because there's 3 of them rather than 2 of them. We went on that really good run last season, or the season before last, winning Glasser's first year. Gahey didn't play in that team and we were winning games every week. So I trust that we can replace him, but equally, he's our captain. I love him. I'll happily have him for another year.
Absolutely, Ollie. Listen, things are flying for you. Pleased for you, mate. All the best. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Kirkman here, Gab. Morning, lads. Looking forward to another show. If you're interested, Ally, I've got a space available on a charter trip out of Devon, targeting tuna. Oh, brilliant. They're a great fish to catch. They're off the southwest coast in very good numbers at the moment. Great sport. That's from Chris in Tamworth. Chris, sadly, I've
no more time off.
I've no more time off, mate.
You don't.
Chris, I'd love to tell you, but I caught a couple of 90-pound yellowfish tuna, by the way, off Guatemala. What a story that is. That's for another day. Coming up, we turn our attention to the Carabao Cup, Bromley versus Ipswich, and it's live on talkSPORT 2 tonight. And we'll speak to Bromley boss Andy Woodman next. Okay, it's Tuesday the 12th of August. It's just coming up, what is it, 20 past 7 this Tuesday morning. I think it's a lovely day out there. I'll move that big massive screen and let the nation know how the weather is outside, maybe at the news or something like that. Story in the papers this morning, pubs full of hot air. Drinkers have been given the chance to sink a pint while 2,000 feet up in the air in a hot air balloon.
No.
Well, I'm going to ask you the question. On the 23rd of August, the hot air powered pub will take off from either Bristol or Bath. We better be one or the other. You need to find out which one. You've done it at the wrong place, man. And if anyone fancies it, then all you have to do is apply online.
No, we shouldn't be up there. I'm a big believer. We should not be up there.
No,
let's just stay on the ground.
You reckon if the good Lord had wanted us to fly, he'd have given us wings?
Do you know what I mean? Like, just to stay, go to your local pub, outside in the garden. Do you know what I mean? Sun's on you. Why do you want to be up there? It's like when people...
It beggars the question, if Big Al, right, was going to go up in a hot air balloon for a pint, just how much helium would be required to get that man off the ground?
Do you think the hot air balloon could stay still? Or do you reckon it'd just be like all over the place? You know when people, have you seen it? When people go and eat?
I just get this vision of Big Al and a hot air. Actually, Big Al resembles a hot air balloon in many ways.
Be careful, you know how angry he gets.
He's never listening to me at 20 past 7.
Do you know when people go and have dinner in the little restaurants where your feet are dangling and you're high up? Have you seen it?
No.
Don't tell me you've not seen them.
No, and I'm not having
it. So you're eating high up in the air where your feet are dangling, like you're on a roller coaster strapped in.
I don't like the roller coaster.
And you're eating on a table and someone's serving you and then it's shaking. Well, you don't wind me up.
I don't like that. Why would you do that? I don't
get it.
I give it the big bravado one with the kids on the roller.
I don't go on the roller coaster.
I don't really like them though.
I don't see fun in being scared. Doesn't make sense, mate.
I don't mind the dodgems and that, but I don't really fancy.
No, not for me, mate. Thomas the Tank Engine ones, that's it.
Ah, they're okay. Yeah. It's time for this, guys. If I was in LA, California dreaming on such a winter's day. I stopped into a church I found along the way. Well, I got down on my knees and I began to pray. What a song that is.
Who sings this?
Oh, that's Mamas and Papas. Am I right, Ed? He's giving me the thumbs up.
Ed don't know himself, man.
There's a brilliant... You've got to see this. I don't know what it is or what it was on, but they were asked to mime that song on television, right? And one of the girls in the band took the hump, right?
Why?
Because she didn't want to mime it, she wanted to sing it live. So she started eating an apple, right? Honest to God. There's video footage on it everywhere. She thought, I'll show them. She started eating an apple.
Great tune.
Anyway, there's a serious piece of useless information for you, as opposed to just the normal useless information I give you. Right, here we go. The reason we're playing that, Gab, of course, the NFL returns to Wembley in October as the Los Angeles Rams take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and our competition to win VIP tickets starts right now. We're giving you the chance to win 6 seats in a private box at Wembley Stadium with full hospitality plus $5,000 spending money. And here's how to enter. 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you are in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 338. All entries must be received by the 25th of August at 11 p.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion running talkSPORT Talk and Virgin Radio stations, Virgin Radio UK stations, full T's and C's at talksport.com. Oh, that was these reads getting longer
and longer.
It's just my mouth not working this morning. Now the EFL is already back and the Premier League is just 3 days away from returning, but it's all eyes and the ears on the Carabao Cup tonight. Among tonight's 30 games in the first round and included, here's the Hampton Derby, Northampton versus Southampton. We're really struggling if we're calling things the Hampton Derby now, aren't we? Wrexham host an all-championship clash with Hull, and in League 2 Bromley host Ipswich, and it's live on talkSPORT 2. And joining us now to look ahead to the game is Bromley boss Andy Woodman. Andy, good morning, how are you?
Good morning, Andy.
Yeah,
Good morning, Ali. Good morning, Gabby. How are you?
Mate. Yeah, we're in great form, Andy. Thanks for joining us. You're in good form yourself. You know, a draw and a 2-0 at the weekend. You must be pleased.
Yeah, good start. 2 clean sheets, so quite a solid start for us, going into the season this early on.
So you're looking at the League Cup. You're straight into it, obviously, after only two league games. How do you find that, Andy? Is that something you just deal with, or do you feel that the cup games come a little bit too quick for you?
Yeah, it is a problem, to be honest, because we will have to make a few changes because there's quite a few players that have not had 90 minutes at this level and this tempo. So, although, people might think we're being a bit disrespectful making a few changes against an ex-Premiership team, we just can't risk, with our small squad, getting some hamstring injuries or risking any players that might be at risk. So that is a bit of a problem for us.
I think as well, Andy, you look at last season, finishing 11th in the league, first time in League Two as well. This season, you probably want to try and push on as well if you can sneak into them playoffs, maybe.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I was a bit disappointed we didn't make the playoffs last year, to be honest. We was 4 points short, and I hate to say it, but if I look back, we had a real sort of bad run when we had the Newcastle FA Cup game. So I kind of, as much as that's a great one for the club, the fans, and financial, which is brilliant, it kind of does hit a little bit in my throat a little bit. We might have got 4 more points in that period and it might have been enough. But yeah, that's definitely our aim. We're not making no secret of that. And I don't think any team should do, really, because that's the beauty of the playoffs. It keeps the season alive for everyone. And we're like no one else. We want to make the playoffs if we can.
It shows, though, doesn't it, now that when we talk about the Championship and League One, so competitive and team spending. I was looking at teams like MK Dons in League Two, and they've had a right go in the summer, haven't they? Signing players like Nathaniel Mendes-Lang from Derby in the Championship. They've had a good go.
Yeah, they certainly have. I mean, they are the big spenders in the league. I can assure you we are definitely not the big spenders. I think our budget is right down to the bottom, and I know every manager likes to pretend they got the worst budget, but we make no secret of that either. We work to a tight budget. We have to be very astute with who we bring in, and equally the loan market's been really important to us, and that's helped us. But there is a cut of clubs throwing some big money around for this league, and that just shows how competitive this league is and how much teams want to get out of it.
I understand that, Andy, and obviously the Cup, you mentioned that it sometimes come a little bit earlier. I was just looking ahead there. You've got Fleetwood at home on the Saturday. How important, how's the home form been, and how important obviously is it to get the fortress at home and make things difficult for teams coming to Bromley?
Yeah, I think they've had a really good start, Fleetwood, and they're a good team. And look, not that long ago they was in a league above as well, so they've still got that sort of quality around them. So it's important, we want to take this Ipswich game, properly and not sort of disrespect it or certainly disrespect Ipswich. We want to give a good account of ourselves, and look, they'll be making changes as well, because I'm imagining the league's a bit more important to them than the Carabao Cup. So we've got to make sure we're ready for this match tonight, and we go out there and give everything. But we have got to have one eye on Saturday, because that's the sort of bread and butter of what we want to try achieve. And if we get a few injuries tonight, God forbid, or we risk a few players that we shouldn't risk and they get injured, you're kind of kicking yourself on Saturday then, particularly with the size of our squad. We just haven't got a very big squad with the finances we've got.
Get it totally, Andy. Totally understand it. However, enjoy tonight and all the best for the rest of the season.
Luck,
and thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for
you. Take care, mate. Good luck tonight. And you can hear if Bromley pull off the upset against Ipswich, and it's live on talkSPORT 2 tonight at 7:45 with updates from all the games right here in talkSPORT with the one and only Adrian Durham, and that's from 7 o'clock. Now, coming up.
It's a great night for a game, though. I know we can't see, but it's lovely weather out there.
Oh, do you know something? I've just got a text in there for one of the lads. He says, you've no idea how lovely it is outside. He says it's absolutely beautiful.
I've got a sneak little look from my city here. It looks stunning, mate.
I've got a wee gap under that
screen. Dubai. Looks like Dubai out there.
There's a little bit of sunshine coming in there. Coming up. So Palace in the Conference League, but how excited are Forest fans about being in the Europa League? But are they prepared? We're going to discuss that next.
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year, it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
This is brilliant. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online, all with a few clicks. They make buying your car next easy. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. This is, you just love our listeners, man. This is for Reese and Frank and Bexel, right? Ally, get yourself squared up. The mamas and papas lady ate a banana, not an apple.
It's fruit, isn't it? It's all the same.
I mean, if it was ever somebody digging me up in a technicality, that was it, lads. But well done. Absolutely love it. Hey, what we're thinking, Gab? Donnarumma.
I tell you, when I seen it, I mean, it's been a few weeks, and obviously signed a new goalkeeper. I'm like, has he asked for crazy money? Because how good he was last year,
brilliant,
outstanding. And even when you watched him, he was still playing in the Club World Cup when they lost in the final to Chelsea. He was there, backing the manager, protecting the manager when it was all going. All the players were pushing each other. I'm like, what sort of money are you asking for here, Donnarumma? Have you got a bit carried away, Ali? Is he asking for like money that they're thinking, we can't give you that? That's the only reason.
He's reportedly on or asked for about 210 grand a week, right? I mean,
I don't think that's not fair.
Don't start me, man. I mean, it's brilliant, man. I mean, surely.
No, but for how good he was last year, the best goalkeeper, Alisson will be on that.
Yeah, I know. I know. I just can't get my head around these figures. I'm the worst guy in the world to talk about things like that. You're right. I tell you what he is. What's not off for debate. Fantastic goalkeeper, and it'd be a brilliant signing for him. Yeah.
Do you reckon he's probably asked for like a 4 or 5 year deal?
Yeah.
On them crazy.
He's got a year to go, hasn't he?
Yeah, crazy prices.
He's got a year to go.
Yeah, PSG said no. Understandable.
A lot of money, reportedly, as I said, on 200 grand a week, but there's no doubt in his ability, that's for sure.
Yes.
Now, it's been an interesting summer at Forest. Yesterday it was confirmed that they'd been promoted to the Europa League at the expense of Palace. Earlier this summer, one of Marinakis reported Spurs for illegally tapping up Morgan Gibbs-White. He then changed his mind and stayed at the club. Great boost for Forest, that I can tell you that. They also lost Anthony Elanga to Newcastle, but they've also spent nearly £70 million on new signings. So let's all round up with a real club legend, 2-time European Cup winner of Forest, one and only Gary Burtos. Gary, good morning. How are you, mate?
Good morning, Gary.
I'm good. How are you?
We're in top form, Gary. How was your summer without any football? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of a breather, isn't it? It's, been watching the England ladies perform.
Did well, didn't they?
So yeah, it's still been there in the background a little bit.
Good stuff, mate. I was on a flight to Portugal, and I saw Morgan Gibbs White. He was on it. Looked at him. He looked, as you would imagine, in fantastic condition. But what a boost for Forest that is, isn't it?
It must have been first class then, Ali.
Oh yeah, I was Gary. It was the back of his head I was looking at.
Yeah, incredible boost for the club. Everybody thought it was, signed, sealed, delivered that Morgan was going to Spurs. But rules are rules, aren't they? And, you can't bypass rules like that. It's unfortunate for Tottenham, but brilliant for Nottingham Forest because he was an inspiration last season, and thank goodness he's still there for this.
I understand it as well because you can't lose Elanga and then lose Morgan Gibbs-White after the season Nottingham Forest have had. Now going to be playing in the Europa League as well. You want to improve your squad, not make it weaker, which they have done with the attacker Endoy. He looks like a very good player.
He does at the moment. Yeah, it's always difficult. Gentlemen, the Premier League is the most difficult league in the world to adapt to when you come, from Europe. It's full on. It's in your face. You get so many games with the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and it's not very easy to adapt to it. So it'd be interesting to see how he goes. But going back to Elanga and Gibbs-White, they were the main protagonists in assists for Nottingham Forest last season. So you lose both those.
Yes.
Replace them with unbelievable quality, and that's never going to be easy.
Gary, you touched on it. I was lucky to go in 3 or 4 Forest home games last season. I thought the atmosphere was fantastic. What I did really enjoy, by the way, was a lot of the ex-players, a lot of the old boys knocking about. It was fantastic to catch up with them. But generally speaking, the atmosphere was unbelievable. And what was a brilliant season. How difficult, you mentioned the games in Europe, how difficult is it going to be next year to maintain that or even improve on that?
Well, I think you've seen from the other club. I think the big clubs, the normal big six, we can say they usually get through the number of games with no problem. But the teams that have usurped, the big six and got into Europe have struggled throughout the season. The league position has dropped a little bit. They're like the West Hams and people like that who've been brilliant to get into the competitions. It's like last season was fantastic for me because Palace won the FA Cup. They beat Liverpool in the Charity Shield. Newcastle won the trophy. And it was fantastic to see a little bit of changing of the guard. Whether that continues, we'll have to see this coming season. But I remember the games we played, on those horrible pitches all those years ago. I think seasons when we were in the European Cup. I think I played 136 games in 2 seasons. It just takes it out of you, and especially on those pitches. Your whole body just, packs in a little bit, as mine did at the end of those 2 seasons. So it's never going to be easy. And their training is a total difference to when we were playing. It's more professional. So the strain it puts on your body as a professional footballer or a professional athlete is incredible.
It's funny that, Gary, you mentioned that, Gabby. I was at Wembley at the weekend, Gary, doing the Palace Liverpool game, and it's the first thing I was on the pitch with Stevie McManaman, and I said to Stevie, it's probably one of, if not the biggest change in football in 30 years is the condition of the playing surfaces. Nowadays, every one of them, Gary, is like a bowling green.
Yeah, I can remember we played Southampton in the League Cup final in March, and there was snow on the side of the pitch. They had to clear Wembley Stadium, and there was piles of snow on the side, and it was just a mud bath. It was just ridiculous. So that's the change. Even, Wembley Stadium in March was an absolute quagmire. And, it's changed for the better, and, the surfaces they've got now are great. The behind the scenes help they get, with physios. We had one physio.
Yeah, and I know.
And, you're queuing to get treatment. It was bizarre. But, it's great to see that has changed and, players get looked after as they should be looked after.
How good of a signing, Gary, will James McAtee be? Because he's talking about maybe a £20 million Manchester City want for him. Where would he fit in across that front line at Nottingham Forest?
Well, there's talk about Nuno. He's changing things a little bit system-wise because, obviously Anthony Elanga's gone with that pace. So it'd be interesting to see if he comes where he did fit in. But obviously the potential he has and he has to offer is incredible. It might just lift his whole career, getting regular football. I mean, look at Elliot Anderson when he came from Newcastle. Similar sort of age and everything, and he was brilliant for us last season. So I'm really looking forward, if he does sign, to seeing what Nuno does with him, where he fits in with the team at the moment, because he'll have to play, because what point in coming from Manchester City, sitting on your backside on the bench there, to doing the same at Nottingham Forest. So I think it might be a little bit of a new look system, the way things are looking at the moment from Nuno this season.
Gary, tell me a little bit about the owner Marinakis. I mean, I look at him and I think, if I was a Forest fan, Forest player, Forest man at all, he's my kind of owner, because, he looks after his club. He's only interested in his club. However, if you're on the outside, if you're Spurs or anybody else for that matter, Palace, you're not having him at all. Is that fair?
I don't think it is fair a little bit. It's every club would love to have an owner like Mr. Marinakis, because he has put his money where his mouth is every season since he's taken over the club. During COVID, he was unbelievable. The money he kept investing during that time was incredible. And he cares deeply about, what goes on. I mean, the Awani thing, the injury, that got all misinterpreted. People just make their own minds up, and they got it wrong. He was doing things not for the reasons they were saying, but for different reasons. They, concern. And when he bought the football club, he bought it for the 2 stars on the shirt, and he wanted to improve things. And he's gradually doing that, and he just keeps investing. You've got to give him so much credit for doing that. He's a very quietly spoken man. He's not, one of these who... but he gives that impression when he's on the pitch. People think he is that sort of... But off the pitch, he seems, very quiet, very humble, and he's just a fabulous thing for the football club, because he is continually willing to invest and, try and take the club forward and get them into that, the area they were in last season. I mean, we were heartbroken as Forest fans, because if we'd have won one of the last 4 games, we'd have been in the Champions League.
It's
amazing. And that was how it was. One of the last 4 games you win,
crazy.
You're in, and that's silly, because nobody at that, before the season kicked off, would have said Nottingham Forest is going to be in Europe. And the same with Palace, probably. Yeah. I feel Palace fans, because they're the ones who suffer more, football fans, but they've still got Europe, and rules are rules, and they're intricate rules. That, Ali. We don't as well as the people in those positions do. So it's what can you do? If you say, right, we're going to put Palace back in the Europa League, everybody. There's
no point in having rules. I get it.
Yeah, well, the rules are there. They're broken, but they're back in the Europa League. What can you do? It's a difficult one.
Brilliant, Gary. Lovely to talk to you, mate.
Thank you, Gary.
Hopefully see you during the season, mate.
Thanks a lot. Thanks,
Take care.
James.
Up, man.
So that's the point I was trying to make there. And I don't know if Gary got what I was trying to say. I think if you're Forest, you love Marinakis, right? Because he's totally invested, as he should be, in his own club. But if you're Palace, you can understand that, and them having a moment, maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and for me, when I see him, he's too much on the camera. He's by the tunnel. He wants to be seen.
I like him though, Gav.
But careful, I don't want to get banned. I don't want to get banned, so I'm not saying no more.
I think the one thing it shows you, listen, you can argue that bits and pieces and all that stuff, but he cares, man.
Of course, it's his club.
I don't mind that.
Of course,
I don't mind that.
The way he fought to stop Gibbs White going.
Correct.
I get that.
That's what you want.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Don't want to lose your best players. Okay, mate, still to come in breakfast this morning.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
Okay, doke. I'll be asking Gabby's thoughts on Jack Grealish's move to Everton. We'll also deep dive into the players who have to make a move this summer before the transfer window slams shut. Why does it always slam shut?
I know, just close it.
Do you know
what I mean?
Just gently close it, right?
Not hard.
However, had some English high-profile players out in the cold: Sterling, Chilwell, Phillips, Sancho, Calvert-Lewin. What's going on? Gabby will tell us what has gone wrong and what should be next for each of them. That was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
This was a banger back in the day.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Kim Wilde it was. Daughter of
I don't
Marty Wilde, I think.
I could just picture you, Ali, dancing with the
Oh,
ladies.
mate. I used to.
I could just picture you, mate.
There's many a dance floor I absolutely destroyed
picture
it.
you, mate, yeah.
Destroyed
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
ripped it apart.
Let's
mate.
move on before we get in trouble.
Absolutely. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Now, one of the headlines you're waking up to: Barcelona are set to face Villarreal in a league match in December in Miami. I know. This comes after La Liga Federation approved the idea. The Sun reports that the Premier League chiefs have no interest in playing domestic games abroad because they've already grown the game to the level they want. Gab, do you think it's just a matter of time?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Do you know
Yes.
something? And then there's part of me really against it, right? Obviously, because a lot of the fans of clubs won't be able to travel.
Yeah.
But then there's a little bit of me says,
Look at the NFL.
there's a lot of the fans will be able to travel.
Look at the NFL.
Yeah.
Comes to London. And I just think if you look at the Club World Cup, the little things they were doing and the players coming out one at a time, shouting their names out, I just think it will be a matter of time, Ali, before you see a Saudi club in the European Champions League. That's a shout for you. I can see that happening for sure.
In normal circumstances, I would have said that's ridiculous. However, as soon as Australia get in the Eurovision Song Contest, I thought anything can happen.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? That's the biggest scandal of a lot. Australia in the Eurovision Song Contest.
A lot of Europeans there.
Okay, it's a joke. We want to hear from you football fans. We have a global game. Should we not share it in our Premier League games abroad? Give us your views. What's wrong with that? Surely nothing. 03717 22 3344. That's the number to call. Right, get in the mood for love, Gabby, because we're about to do some matchmaking.
Stick a load of singles in there and then they fall in love.
Of course it's hard. It's supposed to be hard.
A 36-year-old, you'll have the knockers, you will.
Just because it's offering its teat, do I really have to muscle on that?
Is there anything in your personal life that could be causing you stress, sir?
I'm not a great lover.
Oh. What's your name?
Sarah Louise.
Sarah Louise. Fuck, you're up for it, aren't you?
I was in love at the time, that's what I was doing.
At the time?
Now, there's only one lady that can put us in the mood for love, Gab.
Who's that?
She's actually not here today.
Mariah Carey, Jennifer
You
Lopez.
spoiled my line, man. I was giving it a big build up, then I was going to say that, man. The two of you were. But unfortunately, we couldn't find her, but she fans here.
The whales waddled back in.
She will do.
Never settle, people. Never settle, they say, especially if you're on Tinder. I mean, swipe right if you like it.
Give me the rules again. It's right if you like it.
Right if you like, left if you don't.
Here's me kidding on, I'm not.
Wink, wink. For those of you on Tinder this summer, congratulations to you. We hope you find love, and we're looking to match players to new clubs this window as well. So what about Kieran Trippier to Monaco? Age 34, but his crosses are timeless. Veteran fullback in his final year at Newcastle, seeking a sun-soaked romance with Monaco's red and white. How do we feel about this?
Yes, I'm swiping right immediately.
All day.
34 years
got
of
a
age.
match.
Wonderful career. Tremendous career. Go and enjoy yourself. I mean, free tickets for the Grand Prix, the whole bit, man. You could sit there doing that French Riviera, along to Nice for your lunch, bit of training in the morning, out for a glass of champagne with the Prince at night. Oh, come on, what's not to love about
And as well, I was there for the Champions League game. So many empty seats, so you would never struggle for extra
Correct.
tickets for the family.
Plenty of comps.
Not a big fan base. Pogba's there. Eric Dyer's there.
Got a bit salty, didn't he?
I mean, Let's be honest about it. You're not going to get a hassle in Monaco either. You know what I mean?
No. Oh, so you don't think he's got more to offer in the Premier League?
Well, he could. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I'm not ruling that out. But if you fancy a couple of years towards the end of your career, I suggest Monaco would be not a bad place to do it.
Kieran, make sure you get a yacht thrown in.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone's on a yacht there.
And make sure you've got a couple of tickets for Gabby and I don't. for the derby game against Nice.
Yes. So favourite game.
Gabby and I are swiping viciously to the right for that one.
Yes, Kieran.
It's
we're in.
a match. How do we feel about Rodrigo to Manchester City? This has been going around for quite some time. He's 24. Brazilian flair meets Etihad precision, looking for a match made in heaven with Manchester City. Speedy winger with goals to spare, seeking a squad to elevate his game. Can he bring a trophy to Pep's cabinet this season?
Well, I think you should speak to Casemiro, because Casemiro loves Manchester. You know, when you're getting £300,000 a week. So maybe Rodrigo would love Manchester. The lovely weather, you know, some lovely, beautiful sights.
The weather? Yeah. Is Manchester known for its weather?
Oh,
yeah.
It's a good night out, but...
Similar weather to Glasgow.
Weather.
We were just talking about Glasgow. Anywhere's better than Glasgow weather-wise. I think it'd be a good move.
100 mil though? Is that the same?
If they're getting it, yeah, it'd be a lot of money, wouldn't it?
Pricey. He's pricey around about 60.
He's a little bit of an unsung hero there, you know, in that team.
Yeah.
And I could see him being a success at
Didn't
City.
play enough last season though.
No, he didn't. No, I know that's the only thing. But I think Gabby and I are kind of swiping right on that one.
Swiping right, okay.
Don't mind that.
Curveball.
Yes.
Curveball for you now. Cristiano Ronaldo has proposed to his partner, Georgina Rodriguez, after 9 years. Now, I have a picture of the ring. It's looks like it gave birth to my ring, because it's absolutely massive.
I've seen it. It's scary.
An absolute rock.
No danger.
Believed to be worth around £5 to £9 million. 30
Let me see that. Let me see.
You need to upgrade on
whatever you
man.
did, and no account show that to be Viv, right?
Viv.
Absolutely.
Viv, come on, we know he's minted. How long are you married now?
That's got a name, that's that biggest diamond that they found in South Africa. What's it they called, a cartoon or something? That massive big diamond.
The oversized diamond. Only thing is now, Ali, we've been thinking, our Gabby, you know, he's been with his bird for a while now.
Yes.
Do you think Gabby should now get a ring for his missus?
I'm engaged.
He's engaged.
I am.
Yeah.
Why haven't you put a ring on it then?
I have.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, there we are. Breaking news. This is what we do at talkSPORT. We make the news and we breaking news.
Social
When
media.
did you get engaged?
Oh, what about me? I'm engaged, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
He told me I kept it quiet. He only
you.
told his close pals.
Yes.
Did the boys know?
Those people.
They know now.
Damn, I wouldn't tell
Along
them.
with one or two others, I would imagine.
I wouldn't tell them what coffee I want.
Yeah.
All right, so we can stop the pressure then.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
I mean, me and Cristiano were speaking at the same time. His ring was 9 million, mine was £9.
Have you got the same prenup as Cristiano?
Seriously, you're engaged?
Yeah.
Oh, Gabby,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Magic.
Thank you very much.
And by the way, we're playing the perfect music.
Exactly.
Aw, can I be your flower girl?
Oof, no.
Listen, I'm getting my speech ready, and you're going to flower girl. Thanks very much, Shaban. We're swiping right all over the place there, aren't we? Coming up, Ray Parlour has called in with his lawyers. Number ready for Gabby. Up next, Sean Derrick.
knows there are 20 managers in the Premier League, yeah? Well, actually, no. Around 3/4 of them are not managers. The terms manager and head coach are often used interchangeably to describe Premier League bosses, but they're actually two different jobs. So let's explain how and why. For years, fans referred to Mikel Arteta as Arsenal's manager, but I'm afraid technically...
No, I don't think so. No.
From his first day on the job, he was the Gunners' head coach. Let's pick a random moment in time, February 2025. Only 6 Premier League bosses actually held the official title of manager rather than head coach. Man City's Pep Guardiola, David Moyes of Everton, Ipswich boss Kieran McKenna, Southampton's Ivan Juric, Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace and Leicester's Ruud van Nistelrooy were the only actual managers of their respective teams. Everyone else? That's right, head coach, including Ruben Amorim at Man United. He took over from Erik ten Hag, a man who had held the title of manager. Might come as a surprise that Amorim's appointment marked the first time ever that Man United had a head coach instead of a manager. But to understand why they made that decision, you also have to get what the difference is between a head coach and a manager. A manager's got a huge range of responsibilities. They're not just in charge of training and player lineups, they're also heavily involved in player sales and transfers. Critical stuff. But a head coach's role is far more focused on team training and performance on the pitch. So whereas Ten Hag was highly involved with decisions around transfers during his tenure, the intention was that Amorim wouldn't be, at least not on the same level. And as the sporting structure at Man United changed under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, people like Sir Dave Brailsford took charge of transfers instead. How all those roles play out in practice may be slightly different at different clubs though. On the other hand, the contracts of actual managers like Pep or Moyes had no limits on their job role and their involvement with transfers and contracts. But those guys are actually in the minority now, and it's a change that's happened pretty quickly. In 2019, there were only 6 head coaches in the Premier League, but by 2025, there were 14. A clear indication that more and more clubs are moving towards a model where the guy in charge is actually only really in charge on the pitch. And the way things are going, it might not be long before all 20 clubs have got head coaches, and the job position of football manager in the top flight is no more.
Dear me, talkSPORT Breakfast, Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals there, of course, guaranteed. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. I thought it was going to be a quiet day. Clearly not. I'm going to have a speech to write.
Do you know what, Ally? Before you carry on, have you got to read? Sorry.
No, you carry on, mate.
It's been reported by Alex Crook. Alexander Isak is adamant he will not play for Newcastle again, even if window closes without exit. Tyneside career is over and no wish to reintegrate. Clubs say not for sale. Wow.
I mean...
Wow. Who does he think he is, by the way?
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
Listen, I can have banter with Newcastle, but like, who do you think you are, mate?
Correct, mate.
Who do you think you are?
Has that been released? That's Crookie.
Yeah, it's been confirmed. Like, wow. Who do you think you are?
That's exactly what I am.
Disgusting. What that club's done for you.
And by the way, have a think about
Jesus.
this. Have a think about this. If you're Liverpool, or you're Liverpool fans, is that the kind of person you want to be signing?
Real Madrid want him in 2 years when he's 27. He'll do the same to you.
Of course he will.
Wow.
Of course they will.
Ali, and the fact that Newcastle missed out on Shesko, they've got every right to say, listen, you're going nowhere. We've lost Callum Wilson. We can't get Wisser over the line yet as well. We're not going into the season. They've got Villa on Saturday.
I'll tell you right now.
And they could do with him against Villa.
I know. I'd love Newcastle to do it.
I'm fuming, mate.
But I'd love them to do it, but they won't be able. I'd just fine them every week.
I'm not a Newcastle fan, but I'm fuming for them. Interesting to hear Newcastle callers on that. But, like, who does this guy think he is? Like, you've had a fantastic season. Yeah. Settle down a bit, mate.
And why did he sign the contract if it wasn't going to honour it?
Exactly. I get it. You want to go and explore and go for a bigger club. But if it doesn't suit the club, shut up. Get your boots on. Big season for Newcastle. Want to start the season well. Villa away, tough game, and now you're saying you're adamant you don't want to play. Like what?
That's unbelievable.
Wow, that's why I'm up.
I'm with you, mate. 03717 223344. Gabby just announced his engagement live in talkSPORT, which is now fish and chip paper. We're not interested in that. Give us your wedding. However, give us your wedding advice for Gabby. Send in a voice note. Right, it's Palace though. Conference League next season for them.
Crystal Palace win the FA Cup for the very first time.
Oh, is what I thought. Am I allowed to say that?
Who said it?
God. Yeah, no, I didn't. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was so happy, but yeah, I was worried about what was coming.
And the Palace uprising continues. They dethroned Manchester City in the cup final, and now they have usurped the champions to lift the Community Shield 2025.
Crystal Palace are understood to have lost their appeal to CAS against the UEFA ruling that they must play in the Europa Conference League instead of the Europa League.
The fact they didn't prepare for this is poor. You sell your shares to somebody, you knew the dynamics of it, then it's on you. On the current management of Crystal Palace, it's on Blitzer, it's on Harris, and it's on Parrish.
I believe we should have got through, but look, I'm looking at the other side of it. I think we can do what West Ham did a couple of years ago.
Wipe away all the negativity, and I booked 2 flights to Berlin on May the 27th in anticipation of getting a train down to Leipzig and watching us in the final.
Crystal Palace fans,
Okay, Palace's Community Shield celebrations were cut short yesterday as they found out to be playing the Conference League next season. The ruling also means Forest spot in the Europa League has been confirmed. And now Palace, Fiorentina, Rayo Vallecano, Mainz, Anderlecht, Besiktas, Hibs are among the best sides in this year's conference. By the way, I love that. Hibs fans, I just shoved it in there, lads. Well done. Joining us now for more is former Palace captain Sean Derry. Sean, good morning, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good morning to you both.
Good morning, mate.
Great to see you, mate. I missed you the weekend. How did you enjoy the game?
Do you know, I loved it, Ali. It was a great weekend. Another fantastic performance from Crystal Palace against a really big football club, and thoroughly deserved it. I thought they, of course, started on the back foot with an early goal from Liverpool, but the response was brilliant from everybody connected with the football club. It was a really good weekend to be a Palace fan if you're a Crystal Palace fan.
I really was. I thought second half in particular were excellent. I thought the back three, I love the 2 wide boys. I thought Wharton and Will Hughes when he came on, obviously Kamada going off. I thought Will Hughes played well.
All of them, Ali, they all turned up, didn't they?
Yep.
You know what it's like, guys. When you play against one of the big clubs, you need to turn up. You need to be in 9s and 10s out of 10s for your own individual performance, and you're hopeful that the opposition are a little bit off. And I thought maybe Liverpool probably tried a few things that didn't work out for Arne Slot, but take nothing away from the achievement for Crystal Palace. And that takes you into, what happened yesterday. How can you go from the highs and the jubilation from what happened at the final to what happened yesterday?
Sean, you see, when I watched Crystal Palace and I spoke to Adam Wharton last week, when I had an interview with him, I says, what's your problem with my club, Aston Villa? Because I saw you, didn't I, at the semi-final, and probably the most one-sided game I saw last season. And it's perfect, isn't it, how they use the 3 centre-halves? I think we see Manchester United try and do that formation. And some teams I watched that play the 3 centre-halves, quite defensive, but not Crystal Palace. Their players are flying forward.
Gabby, it's a great system if you're willing to be out of possession like Crystal Palace are. And I say that because obviously the impetus of Manchester United, they need to be in possession. The fans demand it, everyone demands it. But all Palace fans are really happy just seeing the transition. When they win the ball, there's such a threat, a danger. You mentioned the wing backs. You know, Daniel Munoz is a magnificent wing back, and Ty Mitchell the other side sits a little bit deeper, likes to sit a little bit deeper, and is happy with that. But more incredibly, it's that transition. They look so threatening on the break. Ismaila Sarr's a massive player for Crystal Palace as well.
Sean, what about I was looking at those, you mentioned the support of the weekend there. Palace fans were unbelievable. And I thought to myself, boy, will that mob be looking forward to an away trip in Europe. Now that the decision has been made, the rights and wrongs of it we can argue. I mean, those fans at the very least deserve some European trips. And with one of the podcasters on, Ollie was on earlier on, and we're talking about it, and he said, rightly, I think, that Palace could have a chance of winning the Conference League, but I actually thought, on current form, you'd be one of the favourites for the Europa League.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, they proved, haven't they, that they can play in this cup format. You know, if that's the FA Cup, they proved that last year. You know, that would take them into the Europa Cup this year. However, you know, the situation is that they're not playing in that Europa Cup. They're in the Conference Club. But they must take a lot of kind of excitement by the fact that you just mentioned a few of the teams there. Anderlecht, Strasbourg, you know, one or two others in there. Palace must be backing themselves.
Yes.
You know, they must be backing themselves to win this competition. And I guess the problem would be, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of the monetary side of it, but there'll be lesser money available to them, and that might just hamper their last couple of weeks of the window. Who knows? I don't know that side of it. But from a footballing perspective, they should be backing themselves to win this.
The one difference, I think, that and it might be, you know, it might be a struggle for Palace, would be the number of games coming thick and fast. Sean, do you think they could do? I mean, clearly, I'm talking about bringing players in. They still could potentially lose Mark Gay, who's been tremendous. Obviously, a year of his contract to go. Do you think that would be a problem for them unless they increase the squad?
Yeah, I do, Ali. I think, you know, the amount of games that you play in the competition, of course, it hampers your Premier League as well. A lot of games on Sundays and Monday nights.
Yeah.
But if you look at Chelsea last year, and listen, Chelsea and Crystal Palace, of course, you know, Chelsea have got more players available to them than Palace have. But in this competition, at certain games, they utilise their academy players. And I think that's what Crystal Palace have got to do this year. You know, there's two players in there particularly, and I'm aware of what's inside the academy, but Jezza Miraksaki, Hindaloo, Mustafa, you know, they should be looking to be playing in certain games in the Europa Conference. And I guess that will help the cause for Palace this year. But you're absolutely right. They need to go into the market and they need to buy 2, 3, 4 more and hope that they don't lose the big ones.
Yeah, I think as well, you know, Crystal Palace very well, and recruitment's been so good over recent years. Who's the next up-and-coming player that they can try and find from the Championship or League One? The new Eze, you know, the new Margahi, because these players will move on eventually.
Well, I think they've just signed one of them at the end of the middle of last year. You know, Romain Eze didn't play too many games for Palace, coming over from Millwall. I think they spent a good 15, 16 million on him. A young player, done really well. And, you know, that's the kind of market that Palace and, you know, the previous sporting director, Dougie Friedman, was excellent in. You know, you look at Michael Elise coming from Reading. You know, value for money goes into Bayern Munich. It's an incredible story. They've got a lot of them. You know, Mark Gay played a lot of his games in the Championship.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic market that Palace look at, and they've utilised it really well. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe one or two of them come out of the Championship this year.
Sean, just a quick one before I run out of time. Isak's come out and said he's not going to play for Newcastle, all this kind of stuff. How do you handle that as a manager? I mean, Gabby and I have made our views crystal clear. We think that's completely out of order, but is that just the modern way now?
Well, I mean, I just caught the call just before we came on, and, you know, seeing Gabby's statement, and from a playing perspective, you must be fuming.
Yeah.
If you're one of the players inside St James's Park with Eddie Howe, and you want him to strive and look forward to the season, and then this happens. You look at him this morning and, you know, you're not happy with him.
No.
I wouldn't be happy with him as a player.
Imagine Dan Burns, Sean. Like that's his club that he loves, Newcastle lad, and you don't want to play for my club anymore. Like, who do you think you are?
I know. I mean, listen, we know that players come and go, Gabby, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, Ali, we've all moved clubs, and it is hard on the fans. However, there's a way of doing it, and I think sometimes, you know, you look at maybe Isak, for example, and you'd have to question the agency. You'd have to question his advisors and go, come on, lads, you know, there's a better way of doing this.
No doubt about it. Sean, listen, great to talk to you, mate.
Thank
We're
you, Sean.
Palace with great
Thanks,
interest
guys.
this season.
Top man.
Take care. Hopefully catch you up soon, mate. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, take care.
OK, Newcastle fans, want to hear from you. talkSPORT's reporting Alexander Isak is adamant he won't play for Newcastle again. Gabby says, who does he think he is? We all do, in fact. He's contracted at a club. Do you want him gone now? Liverpool fans, is this the kind of player you want at your club? I'm not so sure.
No.
Give us a call, 03717 223344. That was interesting, wasn't it?
Wow.
No, I'm not even talking about Isak. I'm talking about Scott coming and saying that's not going to get moved.
No.
That's the big news.
Player power's not
Isak.
a thing anymore, unless you're Isak.
They might have player power in football, but they've not got it in talkSPORT presenting. The sign must go. Right? What if Big Al, me, you were refusing? We're not going to play for talkSPORT again until that gets moved.
It does on the TV.
That's it. I'm throwing an Isak in right after the show. You support me, don't back. You need to back me here if I'm going for it.
I need to work out my contract.
I knew it. You're with me all the way until the crunch.
Yeah, I'm hiding in the toilet when you're going forward.
Brilliant. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. talkSPORT breakfast. What time we got? 8:20 on Tuesday the 12th of August. Phone lines have gone mental. Absolutely radio rental. 03717 223344. Isak reportedly is adamant he will not play for Newcastle again. Jeff, Newcastle fan. Morning, Jeff. Out of order, surely.
Good morning, Jeff.
Morning, Ali. Morning, Gabby.
Morning,
it's just
mate.
disgusting, isn't it?
Yes.
I cannot believe it. I think what we should do. I'm kicking him in the shin.
Talk about ruining your legacy, though. I mean, the Newcastle fans loved him, scoring in the final to bring their first trophy since the 50s, 60s, whatever it was. And you just ruin your legacy like that. Come on.
I can't believe what he's done. Stick him on match days, stick him behind Shearer's bar, and let's have him serve pints and face down the regulars week in, week out.
I know, mate.
Let's see how he feels by January.
Do you know something, Jeff? We're in total agreement with you. Total agreement with you. However, if I'm putting myself in Newcastle shoes, we're all sitting here saying, yeah, that's exactly what you do. Stick him in the reserves or whatever you do, right?
Financially.
But you can't, mate. Because you're going to have to now take the money for him, which will annoy a lot of people, Newcastle fans, but surely that's what they're going to have to do.
Hey, you're talking with your head, not your heart, Ali.
Yes.
You know, we're all responding with our heart at the moment. It's an emotional response. But ultimately, you're right. And maybe, we turn around, we get Visser over the line.
Yeah.
Maybe look at someone like Amari Hutchinson or Jay Stansfield or, get the centre-half from Italy, the lad we've been linked with. It's the right thing for the club. But you know what really irks me? Is a player like Isak, lots of other players, they have not even a good season, a good 6 months. What's the first thing that happens? We want to renegotiate the contract, want to increase in our wages, and use a higher salary. How many players have ever had, a bad season, a bad couple of years, and go, do you know what? Our performance hasn't been up to snuff.
Jeff, spot on, mate.
You sound like Simon Jordan.
He's absolutely spot on, Jeff, 100%. However, somebody that might have a different outlook is John, the Liverpool fan. Morning, John.
Good morning, John.
Morning, John. Morning, gents. How are we doing?
We're doing very well, John. What do you think of the news? I mean, from a Liverpool point of view, he's brilliant. If you get him, brilliant signing, fantastic player. But is that the kind of player you want with an attitude like that?
It does concern me. There's a professionalism when you want to pay £120 million for a striker or whatever the fee will be. And there's a right and wrong way of doing things. And if he's that adamant that he doesn't want to play for Newcastle again, do it in the right way.
Yes.
Hand in a transfer request behind closed doors. Don't mention it to the media. Don't come out like that. I think there was one thing about Klopp, and he always met the players that he wanted to sign. And I really hope that they've done the homework. Obviously, it's not Slot's decision or final decision, but it does concern me that he's not doing things in the correct way.
I think for me as well.
Is he being poorly advised?
Yeah, I think for me as well, he has a great season at Newcastle. I mean, at Liverpool, if he signs, Real Madrid come knocking. He'll do the same to you.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I'm questioning if we're going to spend that amount of money on somebody who
character,
has been advised like that and behaves in that way.
Brilliant, John. Listen, thanks for the call, mate. I really appreciate it.
Still shocked,
We're now moving on quickly to know latest odds with Coral and Dave Stevens.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Well, Steve-o, good morning. How are you, mate?
Good morning, Steve-o.
Ali, Gab, a very, very good morning. Look, I know that this Isak news is massive, but it's not the biggest news of the day, Ali. Come on. Gab, congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Thank you, mate.
Absolutely fantastic. You've gone and competed with Cristiano Ronaldo
Steve-o,
on the breaking news engagement front. I mean,
Steve-o, I was trying to get a hold of you literally 4 or 5 minutes ago. I want a Gabby to get engaged, Isak a Liverpool double. What price would I got?
This is absolutely true.
What are the odds on Gabby being divorced after 6 months as well, Steve?
Well, you're asking for advice. Whatever you're spending on the wedding, save twice as much for the divorce. But no, Gab, this is brilliant news. Welcome to the club, and And you said a few weeks ago that you'd never had a stag do, never been on a stag do. So the question is, do you want Ali and I to organise it?
Oh, yes.
You give us a budget. I mean, 100 grand, I'm thinking, Ali. And
Steve-o, you and I organise it a damn sight better than the other fellow organiser that sits in this chair on a Thursday and a Friday. Could you imagine him organising it?
It'd be the London Bridge Hotel, wouldn't it?
Now, listen, Gab, that is brilliant news. Congratulations.
Thank you, mate.
Smashing, pal. Done. So, Steve, what do you think? I mean, obviously, the Isak, we'll talk about Isak first of all. No major. I don't think there's a major surprise if effectively he does go to Liverpool, but surely that's not the way to handle it, mate.
It isn't, but does anything surprise you in the modern game? Really? I know it's hard for Newcastle fans. There'll be Liverpool fans questioning, actually, do we want to play like this? He's 1-4 to go there. The only other team potentially, according to the odds in the running, of PSG at 12-1. So I don't know. Clearly there are better ways this could have been handled, but I'm afraid nothing really surprises me, Gab, in the modern game.
Do you know what, mate? This happened 20 years ago. Like, if he ever trained with the team again, he's getting kicked left, right and centre by a Dan Burn, by a midfield player, anybody. But the game's changed now. The players probably won't even say anything to him, Steve.
He's not going to set foot on the training pitch against Dan Burn, is he? That's so look, we'll see how that one unfolds. Ali, great new Rangers.
Yeah.
Just remind me, is this the final qualifying?
No, one more. Great, you're right. The contrast once again in performances at Europe and in league are quite remarkable. But a great result at home, 3-0. You'd very much hope they could get the job done, and it looks like they play Bruges, I think, who are 1-0 up. From against FC Salzburg. But you're right, mate. I mean, it's remarkable, and if they can get the job done tonight, it gives them a throw at the dice for the Champions League.
If they do get Bruges, can I come with you? Because I love it there.
100%.
Went there twice with Villa last season. I loved it.
Beautiful.
Is this an early stag do, Gab?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Let's do it.
What's your prices, Steve?
Yeah, I was going to say, look, there is still a job to be done,
yes.
Ali. And look, Rangers are 12-1 on to qualify. 11-2. How are we pronouncing the opponents? My check's not what
Victoria
it should be.
Victoria, is it Pilsen?
Victoria. Pilsen, I think, isn't it?
Victoria Pilsen.
They're 11-2. They're odds on to win in 90 minutes tonight, Pilsen, 4-6. Rangers 18-5, 3-1 the draw. But I say, look, we're hoping there are no dramas with a 3-goal lead, obviously.
Yeah.
And the contrast with the domestic form, obviously, is quite stark.
Brilliant. Steve, I know you've got a lot of work to do this afternoon planning. Give us a call regarding this stag. Okay. I think
Top man, Steve.
We'll be venturing afield, Steve-o. Okay.
I think we should go and see who's playing down in Monaco. Kieran Trippier.
Exactly.
Kieran will come and see you for a home game.
Take care, mate. Have a good day.
Cheers, fellas.
That was a look at all the latest odds thanks to Coral. 18+, gambleaware.org. Now,
the Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Right, coming up, Alex Crook's going to bring us the very latest on Isak, and we want your call. 03717 223344 is the number to have your say. Can anyone defend it? The switchboard's going crazy as well. Some of the messages coming in here.
Yeah.
How can lads at Newcastle give Isak's behaviour, and they say they want Visa, who's on strike at Brentford? So it's all going to kick off here. Absolutely magic. Great for us. As I said, can anyone defend them? That's coming up next.
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
Okay, welcome. It's great to have you on the show this morning. We're having a great show. Breaking news there regarding Isak. It's all kicked off. People saying Van Dijk did the same. This is going to an hour and a half, Gabby, of madness, and I'm looking forward to it. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Can't buy a car and opt into Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. It's 8:33. It's Tuesday the 12th of August, and the weather out. Can you see it? If somebody could let me know how the weather is on outside, I'll pass that. Yep, it's great.
Blue skies,
I've been told it's great from the other room.
That's all I can see.
Which is fantastic. Good to yes, that's me. Good impersonation of me. Now, there's been a huge update in the Alexander Isak transfer saga, so let's cross straight to talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. Crookie, good morning.
Good morning, Crookie.
Good morning, boys. We good?
Well, we were doing fine until you gave us a bit of news that the next hour and a half going to go crazy, mate. So tell us all about it.
I'm fuming, Crookie.
Yeah, I can imagine the phone lines are going to be red hot between now and 10 o'clock when Jim and Simon take over, and probably beyond. This actually started with our colleague at The Athletic, David Ornstein, reporting in his deal sheet piece this morning that Isak has told Newcastle he won't play for them again, even if they don't sanction a move away from Liverpool in this transfer window. Clearly, this is an alarming situation as far as Newcastle and Eddie Howe are concerned, but not a massive surprise when you look at how Isak has conducted himself over the course of the summer. Didn't go with the rest of his Newcastle teammates to their pre-season tour to Singapore. Didn't attend the Newcastle training ground to undergo treatment on a thigh injury. Instead, decided to get himself on a flight to Spain and use facilities at his former club, Real Sociedad. And since Newcastle returned from their pre-season tour, he's been training away from the rest of the group. Now, that is as much Eddie Howe's decision, I'm told, as it is Isak himself. Eddie Howe is a manager who puts a lot of stock in loyalty. And I've said it a few times on talkSPORT in the last few weeks and certainly in the last few days, that when you look at Eddie Howe's body language, his demeanour, what he's been saying about the Isak situation, I think he's hurt by the way that his star striker has conducted himself this summer, because this is a player that Newcastle gave the opportunity to ply his trade in the Premier League. They spent £65 million to sign him from Real Sociedad. Premier League rivals weren't exactly queuing up to do that deal, and Eddie Howe has made him the main man at St James's Park. Yes, he's repaid the manager with the first major trophy in decades last season, firing them into the Champions League for the second time in 3 seasons. But this is not the type of behaviour that will go down well with Eddie Howe. And I think as much as Isak wants it out of Newcastle, I'm going to say it, I think Eddie Howe probably wants shot of him now as well. He knows he's a great player, but he's not going to be happy with his conduct.
Crookie, I think he's out of line, out of order. All the memories Newcastle fans have got of Isak will be gone now. You know, they're going to be obviously hate him for what he's doing to their football club. But from a Liverpool point of view, surely you're licking your lips of like, okay, the 110 we offered, 115, you got to take it. If I'm Liverpool, I'm not offering 150 million with this scenario opening up now.
Well, I've said all along that Newcastle won't get the £150 million they want from Liverpool. My sources at Anfield have made it pretty clear that they won't go as high as that. In fact, they think the first offer they put in is reasonable and is close to the number that Newcastle have indicated privately they may be willing to accept. £110 million plus add-ons. We don't know what those add-ons were, but I think it would take it to a British record fee. Liverpool have already paid one British record fee for Florian Wirtz this summer. But they're just waiting in the wings, I think. They're waiting for encouragement. And what I would say, there's a lot of Newcastle fans who are telling me on my timeline on X, look, he's not for sale. We've made that pretty clear. Well, why did they go all guns blazing for Benjamin Šeško?
Yeah.
They know, Newcastle, that if they can get a big name replacement, then there is a deal to be done with Liverpool and they will sanction that deal. Obviously, the Šeško one didn't happen. There's talk of Samu over in Porto as well, but I was told yesterday that's proving more complicated maybe than Newcastle expected. But what they can turn around to Alexander Isak, if the window closes and he's not got his move away, we try to facilitate this move. We made a big money offer for Benjamin Šeško. That would have been a club record deal. We tried for Samu. There's been talks with Nicholas Jackson. Again, I think Chelsea's asking price is too high. But if they can get a replacement, this move to Liverpool I expect to happen.
Yes, Crookie, and we don't disagree at all. In fact, we're in total agreement. However, there's ways it can happen. If you say to Isak, look, I'm going to let you go. If we get the right offer, two things. If we get an acceptable offer, we'll let you go. And probably just as important, if not more importantly, I need to get a replacement in. That's Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe must feel so let down at this moment in time. It's not the actual move that's the problem. You can argue he wants to go to Liverpool because the favourites to win the title, might have a better run in the Champions League, whatever. But you cannot say to people, your bosses, I'm not going to turn up for my work.
No way.
That's not on in my book, Crookie.
No, I'm absolutely with you. I think there's ways to do it. I'll go back to Cristiano Ronaldo when he was hankering for a move to Real Madrid. Sir Alex Ferguson asked him to give him one more season and then we'll let you go. He did that, and obviously Manchester United got decent money for him at the end of the season, and he played out of his skin in that final season at Old Trafford, which is why he was welcomed back with open arms. Alexander Isak isn't going to be welcomed back with open arms. And of course, you've got this fascinating little subplot. The second game of the season, live Liverpool on talkSPORT, Monday Night Football, Newcastle at home to Liverpool. You can only imagine what the atmosphere will be like there. But you're absolutely right. As I say, I can see with what Eddie Howe is saying and his body language that he is not happy at all with Alexander Isak. And I'd imagine, and you boys have been in dressing rooms where you'd have been in a situation where one of your teammates had an opportunity to join a perceived bigger club. How will his teammates be feeling about the fact that he's basically down tools? He's basically gone on strike, hasn't he?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
See if it had been conducted in the manner that I'd said to you, the players will know and understand, well, the big fella's been brilliant for his last season. He wants to go to Liverpool. You know, it's certainly weakening our team, weakening our squad, but we understand that's his decision. We're losing a good player, might get not. But it's completely different in that dressing room now when he says, I don't want to play for you. I'm not going to play for you.
I said to you, I said I can imagine Alan Shearer sitting at home now thinking, looking at the wall, like shaking with anger.
Yeah.
Like, you're disrespecting the most passionate fan base in the country.
Yeah.
There's no way back for him, even if he doesn't go crookie. Some players, all right, apologise, come back into it. I don't think he's forgiven if he puts the shirt on again for Newcastle.
No, I agree. And actually, I know a lot of Newcastle fans, and they're all of the same thinking as you. They're absolutely fuming with Alexander Isak. The word rat has been banded around. There was some graffiti outside the training ground with words to that effect as well. So I think he has tarnished his legacy, which is a real shame when you look how brilliant he's been for Newcastle. Scored a goal, obviously, at Wembley to end that trophy drought. He could have gone out an absolute hero. And actually, the more I think about this story and this saga, and it has become the saga of the summer, I'm coming down on Simon Jordan's side of the argument. Yes, I can understand why Alexander Isak was agreed that he'd been promised a contract by Amanda Staveley. She left the football club. Paul Mitchell comes in as sporting director, decides to renege on that agreement because he's still contracted until 2028. But even if Newcastle had slapped down the £300,000 a week that Alexander Isak wants to sign a new deal, I don't think he'd sign it now because he's got his heart set on a move to Liverpool.
Yes.
So I think that's a convenient excuse to help force an exit now.
Crookie, quickly, any news, Spurs?
Eberechi Eze, one to watch between now and the end of the window. They were linked with him quite heavily at the start of the summer. Then it looked like Arsenal were favourites to sign him. That bid from the red half of North London hasn't so far materialised. Spurs in desperate need now. They've missed out on Morgan Gibbs-White. James Maddison is going to miss most of the season with a knee injury. They're back in talks with Crystal Palace. They're exploring a deal. It's trickier now because that £68 million release clause that he did have in his contract has expired. So they would need to negotiate with Steve Parish, who I'm told is a ruthless negotiator when it comes to these transfers. But certainly we're going to be keeping tabs on Eze and a potential move to Tottenham.
Brilliant, Croogie. Thanks for your time this morning, pal. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Cheers, guys.
Incredible. Newcastle and Liverpool fans want to hear from you. What do you make of Isak claiming that he'll never play for your club again, even if he's not sold? Do you want just rid of him now, take the money, or stick him in reserves for the season? That ain't going to happen. 03717 223344. Give us a call. We'll head to the phone lines right now. Sean's a Newcastle fan. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, gents. First time caller. How are you doing?
We're doing brilliant, mate. Thanks for taking the time to call us. What about this news this morning, mate? What do you think?
Oh, it's shocking, isn't it? The way he's gone on is just despicable, man. How can you just refuse to turn up for work when you're on 120 grand a week? It makes the rest of us in the country, right? Newcastle's a working class area, socialist values, and you're just spitting on the entire population of Newcastle. If we turn around to our bosses and say we're not coming to work, we get the sack.
Correct.
Why can't that? He's got 3 years on his contract. If a player shows gross misconduct like that, why can't they say, right, you're sacked and you can't play for anyone till your contract would have run out?
Yeah.
Do you know what I reckon would happen if there wasn't PSR rules, mate? Sean, I reckon the owners that you've got would be like, you're going nowhere, mate. But the problem is now with PSR, you can't afford to let a £120 million player rot in the reserves. That's the problem.
No, I agree, mate. I agree. We've got to get rid of this anger as soon as possible, get the money in and try and move on. Otherwise, our whole season is just going to be about a bloke that doesn't want to play for you.
Excellent, Sean.
That's going to be the talk. Saturday, they're playing my team Villa. Going to be at the stadium working with talkSPORT for it, Ally. And the focus is going to be, is Isak going to... What's happening? And if Newcastle lose to Villa, 100%. You know it's going to be like because Isak wasn't playing. They've lost Callum Wilson.
But I take Sean's point, you know, and I think it's a great call. And I think he probably speaks for the vast majority of Newcastle fans. Not happy. Absolutely not happy. But I'm going to have to take the money and move on. Yeah. Liverpool fan now. Richard. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Ali. Just a quick one. Obviously, being a Liverpool supporter, I want Liverpool to do the best they can this year.
Yes.
But how the Liverpool supporters reacted with Trent, and he just bided his time to go, how are they going to react to Isak? Because they're going to set a precedence. If Liverpool do buy him, every player in the league is going to think, well, if I just down tools, I'm going to get what I want. And it's the wrong message. I don't think Liverpool should buy him.
Richard,
it'd be nice to have him, but I think they should stand fast and say no, because it's just not good. Not a good look.
It's not a good look. However, what I think will happen is, I wouldn't have had a problem. I genuinely wouldn't, Richard, if Isak comes out and says, look, I want to go to Liverpool. You know, they're a great club. We've got a chance to win the Champions League, a chance to win a title. Fair enough. And Eddie Howe says, okay, go in a year, or I'll go if I can get the right money in, or I'll sell you if I can get a replacement in. All these things are possibilities, because 99 times out of 100, a manager or a coach will not want to keep an unhappy player. Right? They won't, because it's not good for the dressing room. But where I think the whole thing comes tumbling down is his toys out the pram. If he's made that quote, I'm not playing for you again,
that's bad.
That's the one. That's the one that sends it over the edge for me, Richard.
I agree entirely, and I don't know what it's going to do for the changing room at Liverpool if they do take someone like that.
Absolutely. Listen, thanks for the call, Richard.
Thank you, mate.
I think we're going to get plenty more in the next hour and 15 minutes. We're going to look ahead to the next hour of the show with benchmarks.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
So, our colleague at The Athletic, David Ornstein. David, what have you done to Gabby and I this morning, mate? Has broken the news. Isak is adamant he won't play for Newcastle again. We want your calls, Newcastle and Liverpool fans, or football fans in general. 03717 223344. What should happen next? Is player power even gone crazy? Has it gone too far? 9 a.m. is the time to have your say. That was our breakfast preview with Benchmarks.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
One of the boys is on there, Gabby, and I've lost the message saying he's going to Aces tonight in Edinburgh, asking if I was there. I was there on Saturday. I told you it was absolutely brilliant. Sorry I've lost your message, mate, but you are going to have an absolute ball this evening.
Anyone who's been, it's been unbelievable.
You are going to have an absolute ball this evening in Edinburgh, I can tell you that. I'd love to be there myself. Now, after 4 seasons battling for a place in Pep's City side, Jack Grealish has left City to join Everton. Gabby and I think it's a great move for both parties. However, Simon doesn't agree.
I mean, we see these signings of players that are big names in football clubs that go out on loan and seem to very rarely do anything meaningful. We saw Raheem Sterling go to Arsenal, nothing. We've seen Jadon Sancho go to Chelsea, not much. And if I applied myself, I could probably name a few others. In this instance, Jack Grealish, it's not his fault he's a £100 million price tag. He never was a £100 million footballer. It's interesting to see the way David plays, because he doesn't feel like a Moisey player to me in any shape or form, because the big criticism at West Ham was once upon a time he didn't have the toolkit to be able to play ambitious football. Towards the end of his tenure, he had talented players in the middle of the park in Paqueta and Kudos, and he still didn't play a game of football that the West Ham fans enjoy watching. For Jack Grealish, he needs to play. I assumed he'd go to Napoli or somewhere like that, rather than go to an Everton side that, whilst it's got this wonderful new stadium and it looks absolutely phenomenal, the stadium, they still have a long way away from going back to being a very competitive side in the Premier League that's looking upwards rather than downwards. But they've made the deal. And, I mean, I think it has jeopardy written all over it. I think there's a lot of money involved in players' wages, and very rarely do these work. So I feel this is a deal that could benefit neither one of them.
But all deals are like that. Doesn't matter who you're signing, it's a gamble.
Of course. But I think Simon's never had a nice thing to say about Jack.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he's always had, he's always come for him at times and been quite spiteful about Mr. Grealish. But
see, the first thing you've got, regardless of anything, surely you've got to be happy for Jack getting
100%.
Getting out playing again.
But what Simon doesn't know, that Simon doesn't know him and doesn't know, like, how frustrated he was at not playing. Yeah. I don't know Raheem Sterling, I don't know Jadon Sancho, I don't know these other players that he's talking about, and maybe he's right with their transfers, it didn't work, but I can tell you something, this is a player who is excited like you wouldn't believe to play football, to train during the week and have a reward at the end of the week of I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing in a team that, yes, they've got work to do in the transfer market, but Dewsbury Hall, I really like him, goes into that midfield. You've got Ndiaye on the left-hand side. They've kept hold of Branthwaite. Yeah, Branthwaite stays, sign a new contract. You start to look at this Everton team and you're like, okay, this team's going places. Can they get a couple more through the window, especially in defensive areas? But he's going to be thinking to himself, you know what? Yeah, new stadium as well. Iconic club. Look at the players that have played at Everton. Yeah. Gaza, Rooney, these sort of superstar players that would have been idols of his. He's going to be going there thinking, all right, it's time. This is my chance now. It's a loan deal. Can I go? Can I start getting on the ball, Andy? Can I start drifting past players that we all know? This is a player that at the Euros, when the Euros were in England, 2021, the public were crying out for him to get on the pitch.
Gabby, I hear where Simon's coming from, but the fact it's a loan deal as well makes it less of a gamble.
Exactly. Yes,
I just think it's a no-brainer.
Yes,
really.
The wages are high, but David Moyes probably looked at him for Tyler Dibbling. They want 50 million for Southampton, but if we pay a percentage of Jack's wages, it might be 8 to 10 million, whether it is for one season, and then we can buy him if he does well. And he knows that. Listen, it's all great playing for different managers, Ali, but I used to love playing for the British managers.
Yeah,
that's me.
Yeah,
and that can be a lot of players where they understand you. You know what I mean, it's more enjoyable at times. And go and express yourself. Go and get on the ball. You're not getting told, okay, no, don't cross it. Play it back to the midfielder so they play the crossing. Very robotic football that Pep plays, and it's worked, don't get me wrong, but it's taken away that edge to Jack of, like, you don't know what he's going to do. Where's he going to pop up? Oh, he's not going to left, he's on the right, he's down the middle, he's coming again off the centre half.
See, that's my point, Gabby. I don't think we ever saw the Jack Grealish that we wanted or expected to see at City. Now, whether he was allowed to do that or whether he didn't do it, that's up for debate. But I remember watching him in a particular game at Brentford. It was. Never forget it. Probably season before last. And I'm watching him get the ball on the left-hand side. Cut back every time.
Yeah.
Cut back every time. Yeah. Rolled it back. Now, his strength when he was at Villa was the fact that he never really knew what he was going to do.
No.
And he's got to find that again. And he's got to be allowed to go and express himself.
And the fear of, like, if I do lose it, it doesn't matter.
No.
But you could imagine that Man City, you've lost the ball. You could have given it to De Bruyne now. You can switch it to Mahrez or Foden. That sort of football, you're going to be a bit on edge when you get it. I've got to make sure I keep it, can't lose it. But now I can imagine at Everton as well, Ali, you're going to be maybe playing on the counter-attack a lot.
Yeah.
Who's better to be running length of the pitch with the ball, driving with it? At Manchester City, you've got sometimes 2 or 3 players on you when you get the ball. Everyone's behind the ball, harder to get through. I think he will have a very good loan spell, and the Everton fans will adore him.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. If he does the business, I'll absolutely adore him. Okay, pal, now time for this.
What a tune.
Ooh! I know, but it's not as good as California Dreaming by the Mammoth.
I know, but
is that Tupac?
California.
Oh, I don't mind that actually. And the reason we're playing it, of course, is because NFL returns to Wembley in October as the Los Angeles Rams, who incidentally are my team, take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and our competition to win VIP tickets is now open. That's correct. We're giving you the chance to win 6 seats in a private box at Wembley Stadium with full hospitality plus 5 Ralphie brand, $5,000 spending money. Here's how to enter: 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland, for a chance to win. Text the word cash to 83338 and you are in the draw. Text costs £2, plus 1 standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 338. All entries must be received by the 25th of August at 11 p.m. This is a TalkSport Limited production run on TalkSport Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T&Cs at talksport.com.
What's you?
You're loving it, aren't you? Ooh. Okay, coming up, the phone lines have gone crazy with Newcastle and Liverpool fans. 03717 2233 Gabby is dancing to the music. Reports this morning that Isak is adamant he won't play for Newcastle again. We'll get your reaction next.
California.
Wondered why Erling Haaland scores a hat-trick instead of just 3 goals? Why Darwin Núñez is said to have missed a sitter rather than just missing a really easy shot? Or why on earth defenders are said to park the bus? Let's break down some of our favourite football cliches. First, let's talk hat-tricks. The term comes from cricket back in the 1800s. Any bowler who managed to get 3 successive wickets used to be rewarded with a hat from their club. Next up, if you see a skillful tackle, an athletic save or a 40-yard screamer, you might say these things are out the top drawer. That's because back in Victorian times, if you had wealth, valuable stuff, you kept it in the top drawer of your dresser, so loaded families became known as top drawer. Remember the last time your team left you feeling as sick as a parrot? The image of the sick bird is thought to come from a classic British comedy moment, Monty Python's Dead Parrot sketch, but the phrase was first used in football by Liverpool defender Phil Thompson. He supposedly said it after Liverpool lost to Nottingham Forest in the 1978 League Cup final. Forest won thanks to a controversial penalty given away by a Thompson foul, even though it was actually outside the box. Poor guy said he felt sick as a parrot afterwards. Is there anything more embarrassing than a nutmeg in football? Weird name, but it's actually related to the trading of nutmeg, the spice. It was so expensive back in the day that corrupt exporters used to try and mix in a bit of wood in with the nutmeg to cut their costs. The term soon became slang. If you were nutmegged, it was because the person you were buying off had pulled a fast one on you. Jose Mourinho brought a lot of things to English football, and seems like one of those was the phrase "park the bus." He used it after his Chelsea side had been held to a goalless draw by Spurs in 2004. Tottenham had been extremely defensive, not trying to score, but making sure Chelsea couldn't either. Mourinho actually said, "They brought the bus and left the bus in front of the goal, as we say in my country." Finally, another phrase that actually comes from cricket. Footballers are said to have missed a sitter if they miss an easy chance. In the late 19th century, it was used in cricket to describe a moment when a fielder failed to take a catch which was so easy they should have been able to catch it sitting down. So there you have it, some of your favourite footballing cliches. And if you think this video is all over, well, it is now.
Okay, doke, it's 3 minutes past 9. It's Tuesday, 12th of August, and the weather outside, I've been reliably informed, is very, very good. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online, all with a few clicks. They make buying your car so easy. Ally and Gabby were this morning. Right, we've even more breaking news. What a morning this is for this morning. It's time for Bournemouth fans this time, so let's head straight over once again to our chief football correspondent, Crookie's list. The Crookie's there for us.
Good morning once again, boys. It's another big name departure from Bournemouth. Ally McCoist to Paris Saint-Germain. I'm told the fee is £55 million up front, with another £2.5 million in achievable add-ons. Understandably, the centre-back was keen to complete this move to the European champions. It does mean Bournemouth have now lost 3 of their first-choice back 4 from last season, with Dean Howson joining Real Madrid and Milos Kerkez making the switch to Liverpool. But it represents another big profit on what Bournemouth played for Zabani in the first place, and also shows how well their recruitment model is working. This summer alone, they've sold players to the English champions, the European champions, and to the powerhouse that is Real Madrid.
They only paid 20 million for him and sold him for 54.
Good player.
Yes, very good.
Well, no doubt about that. Great move for him. Concern for Bournemouth, though? That's just about a full defence, mate.
Yeah, but Bournemouth are nearly close to getting Diakite, the Lille centre-back, Ali, for 35 million, and he's a very good centre-half. So I'm sure they'll spend some of the money that they're receiving for these transfers.
OK, mate, that was interesting news. Again, it's all kicking off this morning. Now, though, go back to Newcastle. Seems like Alexander Isak's having none of it.
Down to Isak, brings a second goal.
This is not about your individual move to Liverpool.
You know, Alex is such a popular player in the dressing room and such a pivotal player on the pitch that any disruption around a player of that calibre is always going to affect the group.
As you know from me, and I think every manager works like this, you never talk about players that are not yours.
The problem with Isak is he's handled it so badly
he couldn't have handled it any worse. His agents and his advisors have said to him, look, throw down the tools.
Let's say Newcastle say, we're not even going to give you or extend your contract. We're not going to do any of these things. You're staying here because you signed this deal. I honestly think eventually...
the player will do his help.
Yep, there we go. Martin, Simon John agreeing yesterday that Alexander Isak will likely do as he's told and get on with life at Newcastle. Should that proposed transfer to Liverpool not happen? Not looking at that now. But big developments this morning. David Ornstein of Athletic is reporting that Isak has no intention of reintegrating back at St James's Park and believes his career there to be over regardless. 03717 22 3344. Let's head straight to the phone lines again. Phil is a Newcastle fan. Phil, good morning.
Phil.
Thanks for calling. What do you think of this news, mate?
Morning, gents. How you doing?
We're doing great, thank you.
Mate. So I think the Isak situation, to be fair, I think some of it is on the club. I actually think that, yes, don't get me wrong, his conduct in terms of the way he's went about it hasn't been right. But Howie, Gabby, you've probably been in this situation. He's trying to force a move because Newcastle want 150 million. He's probably heard from Liverpool that, well, we're not paying that. So it's almost like his hand's been forced. He's got to force something.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying. But look at from Newcastle's point of view, they've tried everything to get Šeško in. Didn't happen. If they can't go out and get a top striker, you can't just let him go for whatever Liverpool want to pay. And then you're stuck with who? You've let Callum Wilson go. Wissa is not guaranteed to come through, and he would be your second choice striker. You're going into the big boy competition this year, the Champions League.
Listen, I completely get it. I just think that Newcastle are holding out for 150 million. Liverpool aren't going to pay that.
No.
And Isak stuck in the middle. He's stuck in practically the reserves now at best. And he's like, well, what else am I going to do? So, to be fair, I feel for him because he's in a situation. Don't get me wrong, and I just want to reiterate, his conduct has been disgusting. The whole situation could have been handled better. But all I'm saying is that Newcastle just need to cash in. If they get 125 for Isak, they're winning. It's just whether they can reinvest it.
I don't think there's anything to do with that. Phil, thanks for the call.
Thank you, Phil.
Moving on to, we've got Niall. Is it Niall or Neil, Newcastle fan? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Niall.
Niall, thanks for giving us a call, mate. What do you think?
I think it's a totally disgusting situation that we're in. Isak, he has no love for me and a few of the fans who I'm friendly with, and he has made our club to be a laughingstock. This transfer window, we were supposed to sign 4 to 5 top players who we assumed before the summer, and after we won the Carabao Cup and we got into the Champions League, he has now made our club and a shocking state of affairs. All this summer has been about Isak, and Liverpool. Why not just sell him to Saudi Arabia, get the money and get rid? Of course, I'd love him to be what he was, a prolific goal scorer, but he has made me feel that he hates our club.
I think Niall as well for the rest of the squad of players and Eddie Howe. You got a big game on Saturday, Villa away. Then after that, you actually play Liverpool at home on a Monday night. These are big games in a season where you want to try and get into the top 4 again, and everyone's going to be thinking, "Oh, Isak," when you should be concentrating on the rest of the squad.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, we are starting off to be on our route to becoming a bigger club than what we were in previous years.
Yep.
Right? And there may be fans out there of other clubs laughing now, maybe thinking, "Oh, we're not the Manchester United or the Chelseas of the 2004 onwards after Jose Mourinho." But at the end of the day, we're a club who, yes, have been bought over by the richest owners, football wise, but we are still starting off. We are a big club, but I know people may laugh at that, but we are one of the best supported fans in England.
Definitely.
And I do not understand why Isak is doing this, because if he does this to another club,
Yeah, he'll do it to any club.
Right.
Yeah, you're right now. Now, thanks for the call, mate. I think you made a good point. I for one, don't think club's a laughing stock at all. I just think the lad's let himself down a wee bit the way he's gone about it. Paul, Liverpool fan. Good morning, Paul. What's your views on it?
Good morning, Paul.
Well, morning, boys. Yeah, I'm just laughing my head off. These Newcastle fans for weeks on end, the losers. Listen, two facts of life here. Yeah, Liverpool have lost our best players to the best team in the world numerous times. Barcelona, Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Alonso, Suarez, people like that. Suarez even going to Chelsea, right? And we were one of the biggest clubs in the world, and always have been. And we're losing players to them clubs. Who's in Newcastle think they are?
Yeah, but
no, that's not the argument.
That's not fair.
No, that's not the argument. The argument. The argument is the way he's going about it. That's the argument. It's not. No, it's not. It's the argument's how he's handled it. If there's a right way going about it, he can put in a transfer request. He can ask Eddie Howe, look, I want to go to Liverpool, and Eddie Howe says, well, yeah, I'll let you go if I get the right offer, or I can get another centre forward in. Once you start saying, I'm not turning up for my work, you're letting yourself down, you're letting your teammates down, and you're letting the fans down.
Listen. You just said, I'll have him at Liverpool tomorrow, because if it annoys the likes of you or like Liverpool, I'll have him there tomorrow. I don't care. He's the best striker in the league.
So that's not the argument. Did Suarez, did Coutinho ever refuse to play for Liverpool?
They more or less, Suarez and Coutinho more or less engineered them moves, mate.
Yeah, but they didn't refuse to play.
Yeah, but
No, okay, but they engineered it. But they still engineered it.
Paul, listen, mate. I watched your team at the weekend, and I think the boy Ekiteke is going to be different class, right? I really do. But I think from Liverpool's point of view, I think from Liverpool's point of view, that their performance deteriorated a little bit when he went off and didn't play with centre forward. So if you get Isak, there is no doubt, in my opinion, that your team's going to go from strength to strength. But you put yourself in the shoes of the Newcastle fans right now. If all of a sudden Salah toys at the pram with the Saudi deal and says, I'm not playing for Liverpool again, how are the Liverpool fans going to feel?
He hasn't done, has he? Well, Trent's done it. Trent's just done it. Trent's just refused to sign it, and I've got nothing against him.
And look at the stick he got for the Liverpool fans. Yep. Look at the stick Trent got.
Yeah, off idiots, off a handful of idiots. Yeah, but not off like proper Liverpool based fans. Everyone said good luck to him. He's given us 15 years.
Yeah.
Good luck to him.
So they should,
He's done the same thing. Yeah, exactly. I said good luck to him.
I just think you can't, Paul. I hear what you're saying, Paul, but you can't refuse to play for your football club. I just don't like that.
Can I just say something on that?
Yeah.
Newcastle have had all summer to get these players in, and what they've done, they've hung the latch, and I think they've strung that lad along, right? And they've had all summer to get business done. They've got no one over the line, and that's not his fault. That's not his fault. If they've made them promises and they've reneged on them promises, and now all summer if I'm that player, I'm thinking, well, what are you doing here? You said I can go if we can get someone in. You're not getting no one in. You're not getting anyone in.
We're into the hypothetical now because we don't really know what the agreement was. Paul, thanks for the call, mate. Enjoyed your call. Thank you. Liam, Newcastle fan. Good morning, Liam.
Do you agree, Paul, Liam?
No, not at all. No, I'm probably one of the minority of fans who actually think that the board should be very calm in this situation. I think this is a last desperate attempt now for Isak and his agent and Liverpool to try and force that move, potentially for under his valuation. And I think they should be very calm because they can't set a precedent that a top six club can come in and unsettle a player with 3 years on his contract with Newcastle and he'll go. And I do believe that it is a bit of a play from an agent and Isak point of view, because in a World Cup year, he's not going to sit in the reserves. He's not going to want to do that. So he will have to reintegrate. And Anthony Gordon a couple of weeks ago said that he fully understood the situation that Isak was in because Gordon was in that situation last year. So I do believe, despite the Newcastle players being unhappy, they will reintegrate with him in the right time. And if I was the Newcastle board myself, I would just go to Real Madrid, PSG and say, okay, for 110 million, you can have him. But I think it would be so costly to Newcastle to let him go to another English club, i.e. Liverpool. And I think that would then set a dangerous precedent. So I think there just should be some calmness, understanding that this is a last desperate push, and actually just say, okay, we'll either call your bluff or we will send you to a club outside of England that potentially gives you Champions League and
Liam,
potential to win Champions League.
I agree with you, but I'm just thinking here ahead. In 13 days, Newcastle, 8 p.m. kickoff, Monday night versus Liverpool. If he is playing for Liverpool in that game, Ali, I want a ticket because that'll be some atmosphere.
But yeah, absolutely. And Liam, absolutely spot on. You need to be controlled and measured.
Of course.
But also what you need to think about as well, Liam, have you got the time to bring a replacement in?
Exactly.
I'm feeling we're Eddie Howe here, right? And I know somebody's saying he's had all summer to do this, that and the next thing.
Tried.
But can you let Isak go now? Circumstances will dictate. I think now it's an absolute certainty to happen. But what about replacement, Liam?
Well, I think they just have to either take that hit and just go with like Gordon up front, which is of course going to be detriment to our team.
He's
I
injured.
understand, but I think that is a better scenario than letting Isak then score goals for Liverpool and still not have that striker. And I think we're going to play without a new striker against Aston Villa. So we're potentially just going to have to plan for the January transfer window unless Samu or Jackson, which I don't think are at the same standard as Isak. So we're going to have to deal with not being strong enough in the striker department anyway. That's just a fact now up until at least January.
So frustrating though.
It is
frustrating though. Like you win the trophy and then you qualify for the Champions League. It should be a fun summer where players want to come to you. You're building again. Can we push forward? And you spent all summer Isak.
It's not even like I enjoyed it, I know. Great call, Liam. Thanks very much. We're going to take a short break. 9:18. Okay, 9:21, Tuesday the 12th of August. Let's continue with the calls. Ally and Gabby with you here this morning on talkSPORT Breakfast. It's all kicking off. 03717223344. The latest gentleman to give us a call is Cameron. Cameron's a Liverpool fan. Cameron, good morning.
Good morning, Cameron.
Oh, it's not a good line, Cameron. Can you talk to us? Have another go, mate.
Oh, sorry. Great show, by the way.
Thanks, Cameron.
I think this is all of Newcastle's making, to be fair. The 150 million price tag, like, has anyone ever been sold for that? Like,
Neymar was 190, was he?
Yeah, but that's Neymar. Like, Isaac ain't exactly broke Premier League records. Yeah, he's a very, very good striker, but he ain't done anything like what Haaland or Salah's done. Like, come on, like
Declan Rice, 100 million. Enzo Fernandez, Casado, 100 million.
Cameron, I take your point. I take your point. You might not agree with the valuation of the player. That's absolutely. In fact, I agree with you myself. To be brutally honest, I don't agree with the valuation of the player. Where we've got a kind of problem is the way the player has handled the situation. That's our problem, mate.
Oh, yeah, I get that, and that is quite worrying, but hopefully if we do get him, someone like Van Dijk or Robertson will just pull him aside and say, look, mate, this is Liverpool now, you can't be doing stuff like that. But if it don't happen, then it is Newcastle's fault, and they're going to have to deal with it. Maybe put it to 130, 120.
Yeah, that's about right.
British transfer record.
120, 30 is about right, yeah.
Like, I think Newcastle just being a bit too greedy, it's going to bite them in the ass. But either way, like, I'm not worried. Liverpool going to have a good season. It's just their choice now, isn't it?
I'll tell you right now, Cameron, watching the game on Sunday, I thought Liverpool were excellent first half, I really did. But when Ekitike went off, I thought they lacked that focal point through the middle. So if they get Isak, is that the final piece of the jigsaw for you?
I reckon it is, but maybe a centre back. But to be fair, now we've got three left backs. Robertson's getting on a little bit. He's still got it. Don't get me wrong, but maybe he can be pushed more into centre back, get a bit more physicality into him. And Endo, he's always solid. He's got his gum shield. He'll smash through players. Maybe get a yellow card, but that's a bit worrying. But yeah,
I just think quickly before you go, I just think this Isak situation now and how he's handling it is a bad example for younger players. Even that if this does happen and he goes through and he does leave, it's a bad example for everyone's club, mate.
I think he's handled it well at all. Cameron, thanks for your call, mate.
Cameron.
We've got Sean, the Newcastle fan. Good morning, Sean. How are you feeling about it, mate?
Morning, Sean.
You all right, lads?
You all right, mate?
We're great, mate. Thanks for calling us.
Can I just say first, Liverpool fan, Christ, what a helmet. You know, I think Scousers have got, they're intelligent about football, but he's just proving that fact. Like, and look, just get rid of them. 120 million, 125 million. Just get rid. But at the end of the day, you know this, Gabby, PSR has done exactly what it's supposed to do. Keep the top four, isn't it? We could have went out, and, Liverpool fans want to remember, if it wasn't for Littlewoods in the 1960s, it wouldn't be where they are now. They've put millions. I'll do 11 Plainfield. Just change the PSR. I'll give them 3 transfer winners where they can gamble.
Sean, like I said earlier, if there wasn't PSR, the owners you've got, I would say you're not going anywhere, mate. 3 years left. You can sit in the reserves and I'll let you rot.
That ain't going to happen, no. I take your point, but there's absolutely no chance that happening. Dan, bigger pardon, Newcastle fan. Dan, what are you thinking this morning? Good morning.
Dan.
Good morning, lads. How are you doing?
We're doing well, Dan. Thanks for calling us this morning. What do you think of this news?
Well, do you know what it is? I think a lot of fans will agree with me here that no player is bigger than any club, no matter how good he is.
Correct.
Yes, Isak is a brilliant player and he's done amazing things for us. If he wants to go, Liverpool fans, you can have him. We don't want him anymore. See you later. Thank you very much.
See, I think a lot of Newcastle fans will be thinking that way, Dan, because as soon as you say you don't want to play for a club, right, what are the club supporters meant to do? You can't. I mean,
it's over.
You can't. It's over.
It's over.
You can't welcome them back with open arms, Dan.
No.
So what you're saying is, mate, get as much money as you possibly can. How do you feel about letting them go, though, Dan, without having a ready-made replacement?
I think the caller said it earlier. We just make do for now, and you know, if that means we go until January without a proper striker, then that's what we have to do. But listen, this team has got many players that want to be there. They'll fight for each other and they'll create goals in other ways.
I think it will make them. I think it will, Ali, make the team stronger as well.
Bring them together. Bring the players together.
Like, okay, this is us now. He's gone. Let's show that we can still go and score the same amount of goals with the players that we've got. Someone else will fill in.
You can't affect the dressing room. You cannot let one man affect the dressing room. Thanks for the call there, Dan. Ross, Newcastle fan. Very good morning, Ross.
Good morning, Ross.
Good to speak to you, lads.
Thanks for coming on.
I think we need to be a bit sensible on this. It's like we can't let them go without getting a replacement in. We've got a small squad as it is. We're going into the Champions League. I think the thing that nobody, or you guys in the media, aren't really pointing out that well is Liverpool have quite. PSR and playing clubs outside the top six spending money. He's quite clearly been tapped up. He hasn't even put in a transfer request to go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, Liverpool need to be held to account for this massively. Isak, I think Eddie Howe's doing a sterling job. You haven't hung him out to dry, which every manager would have the right to if they wanted to. He's trying to keep him in with the fans and in with the squad without saying too much. He's actually be going to Eddie Howe and begging him to let him play in the Champions League this season and just suck it up. You can go next year, mate, but until then, you're a Newcastle player and you're staying.
Yep. Okay. Thanks for the call, Ross. Really appreciate it. We are going to head to a break now at 8 minutes even past 9. Coming up, could Calvert-Lewin be the right replacement for Isak? Gabby will tell us next.
Cricket balls are red, baseballs are white, American footballs are brown, and tennis balls are yellow. We don't even think about it really, but the story behind the tennis ball is actually quite interesting and even involves Sir David Attenborough. I know, here's the tale. Tennis has its roots in 12th century France when people used to make balls from all sorts. Cork, wool, chalk, animal fur and even human hair. Uniformity was found centuries later when people started making balls out of something called vulcanized rubber, invented in the US. But the balls kept on breaking, so a British lawyer, who also loved tennis, suggested they put a flannel covering on the outside, and thus the tennis ball as we know it was born. One problem, it was either white or black. And when the controller of BBC Two, Sir David Attenborough, decided Wimbledon would be shown in colour on the BBC in 1967, no one could actually see the balls on telly. So the International Tennis Federation went away and created a new colour called Optic Yellow, which would show up without the need for a 4K LED display. Not that anyone had that in the 1960s, of course. Since then, all tennis balls have been covered in that material and have their trademark colour for that exact reason. Amateur tennis players and dogs worldwide are forever grateful. You could say the ITF aced it.
Okay, what we've got 9:33, we've got Tuesday the 12th of August. I can't look out the window, but I'm told, led to believe it's very, very nice out there. Ed's giving me the thumbs up from his vantage point next door, said it's absolutely beautiful outside. Got a massive screen in front of the window for some reason. Anyway, Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Pop on your inspector hat, Gabby. Detective Shaban needs some help in solving a real mystery.
Oh my goodness! What a penalty kick! You better believe it! Football is coming home again! These legendary Lionesses are the winners of Euro 2025!
This was England #1 Hannah Hampton on talkSPORT last week, talking about her heroics during England's penalty shootout win over Spain in the Euros.
The Spanish keeper had it on the bottle, so I thought when she's going in goal, just pick it up, chuck it into the English fans so she can't have it. I don't ever put it on a bottle because anyone could do that, so I put it on my arm. And I think that the TV caught that.
So Hampton knew the cameras were watching. We'll come back to that in a moment. It could prove to come in handy. Spain's goalkeeper, Catacoy, went back on social media saying, OK, calm down. If only it were true. Dum dum dum.
Hey, by Hampton! Turns it away! Left-handed! Another penalty stop from England's #1. A hero!
We mentioned the cameras, didn't we? Now it's time for the evidence. Well, pictures now circulating on social media show what we believe to be the Spain #1's bottle wrapped in a towel present throughout the shootout. Dum dum dum! So, did the bottle get launched to the England fans after all? Or did the cameras miss it? Now we sit and wonder if sport's biggest housery moment is actually one of sport's biggest fakeries. I'll leave you to make up your mind.
Don't think it's a big deal. They won the cup.
Yes.
That's all that matters. And by the way, if I was a goalkeeper, I'd be the exact same. I'd write it Marham. I wouldn't have it anywhere near.
No, not in a bottle. No,
you wouldn't have it anywhere near
way.
it, would you?
But
you'd have it somewhere that you were the only person to see it.
Yes. It just seemed so convincing when she said it.
Anyway, they won the two.
Anyway, let's move on.
Good luck to them. Right, what have we got now? This is amazing. The phone lines have gone absolutely crazy. 03717 223344. Let's head back to them right now. Neil is a Newcastle fan, and Neil's taking the time to call us this morning. Good morning, Neil. How are you?
Good morning, Neil.
Morning, Ali. Morning, Gabby. Is all right?
We're fine, mate. Thanks for joining us. What are you thinking about this news?
Right, couple of bits. I think the young lad, the young Liverpool fan that rang up before, I think he must be one of these new generation fans. He's obviously forgotten that they sold Coutinho for 146 million to Barcelona.
Yep.
So I think, look, Isak's our player. If you want him, he's 3 years left on his contract. If you want him, pay 150 million. We'll get 120 million for him next summer, preferably not to Liverpool. So we don't need to sell him. The second thing I would say is I want rid of him. I think we do need to get shot of him. I think he'll probably be looked back on as one of our best ever bits of business selling Isak. I think he's not like Haaland, Salah, where they're sort of metronomically brilliant. With Isak, it's like flashes. He's really good for 2-3 games where he'll score you 3-4 goals, but then there's 2 or 3 games where he's a bit anonymous and looks like he doesn't fancy it.
His injury record as well, Neil. His injury record isn't great, is it?
No, Gabby, and it's not just like the games he misses through injury. I think Isak's one of these players where I think he has to be or feel 100% fit, or he's a bit anonymous. And I do think that we'll move on from it. It's just getting the right deal for the club. I hate this sort of arrogance from Liverpool fans saying, "Oh, you'll come to Liverpool," and they'll say, "Look, this is Liverpool now. Look, he's at a really good club who really looked after him and taken him to the next level." I think he probably just needs to understand that and understand that it's up to us, not him.
Neil, just a quick one on it. You correctly, in theory, say that Newcastle don't need to sell him, and you don't. You're absolutely right. However, surely you agree it makes common sense now. How are you going to reintegrate the man back into the dressing room? Surely, I would think, and I might be wrong, but I would think the players have certainly lost a little bit of respect for the way he's going about it. Listen, we've been about dressing rooms for an eternity, and you got to handle yourself right. Players know that other players want to move and potentially go to, whether it could be called a bigger club or a club that's got a better chance of winning this, that or the next thing. These things happen, but we think there's a certain way of doing it, and we just feel that he's completely alienated himself, A, from the Newcastle support, which is massive, and B, just as importantly, probably Eddie Howe in the dressing room.
I think you both know better than us. I think the players will reintegrate him. I think he's their friends. I think they'll probably see beyond that, and it'll be a lot easier for them. As a fan, I think I'll find it so hard. I'm a season ticket holder. I'll find it so hard to get behind him. I just think, let's move on. We've sold big players before. The PSR thing's slightly different. So I think we had around about 180 million to spend this summer anyway, which we haven't touched yet. Plus we sold Longstaff for, was it 12 million? So we can kind of amortise that. I think the PSR, we don't need to sell him this summer. To replace him, we'll probably need to sell him, but we could do that next summer.
Yeah.
If we bring in a couple of cheap, sort of accept that we're going to take the hit. Eventually, he's not just going to sit in the reserves. He will want to reintegrate, won't he, at some point? But I don't know. I think I'm torn between, yes, I'm desperate to get rid of him because I think the way he's behaved is deplorable. However, I just wouldn't be held to ransom. I think it's weak if we just fall down and say, right, I will sell him for 111 million or whatever it is.
Do you know what, Neil, as well? As much as he says, I adamantly do not want to play for Newcastle again. Transfer window closes, World Cup year, he will change his tune and he will be like, all right, then let me try and get to January and play football. Players are selfish. He'll want to play for himself.
Well, of course, and it's making the right noise as well. The window's open, so if he desperately wants to move, he's going to be saying that now. The window's shut, of course. He ain't going to want to go to Grimsby away with the under-23s. He's going to want to play.
Neil, great call, mate. Thanks very much.
Neil.
Head on. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Now, final one on this. With a text in from a Newcastle fan which says, if we've got Agbonlahor on our side, you know it's bad.
For God's sake.
Amazing stuff this morning. And Isak reportedly adamant they will not play for Newcastle again. We're going to move on. Focus on Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who has been linked with Newcastle. Could he be the replacement? Well, he has sacked his agent. So what next for the player? Gabby? I'm saying no.
So the problem I have with Calvert-Lewin, Ali, is Calvert-Lewin's only 28. I always look at players when the season's about to start and you've been let go by a club and you haven't been signed. Last season, Ali, 26 appearances, Calvert-Lewin, 3 goals in the Premier League. Season before, 32 appearances, 7 goals in the league. Season before, 2022-2023, 17 appearances, 2 goals. You've got to go back to 2020-2021 season where he got 16 goals. His goal record is not great. And also last season, he missed 15 games, 100 days with a hamstring injury.
That's my point. That's why I'm saying.
So the injury, he's not giving you the goals when he's fit, and then his injury record's that poor. Everton physios were probably like, please, David Moyes, Gaffer, please do not re-sign him. We need the space for all the players. Very injury prone. And Callum Wilson, he'll be on a smaller basic wage and a big appearance fee at West Ham, I could imagine. That's what Calvert-Lewin's going to have to get.
Agreed.
I wouldn't touch him with a barge pole if I was Newcastle.
I know.
Let Callum Wilson
and
go
it's
for
a
the
shame
reasons.
because he's definitely talented. Of that, there is no doubt. But I keep saying it, mate. And the irony of me talking about work, see when you're signing players, Walter always used to say to me, you got to look how often they turn up for their work. How often do they play? How often do they miss training? How often do they miss games? That's a massive part of it, mate. It's one of the first things you look at.
Ali, I was in Croatia doing the coaching camp for Campione Academy, and the Spurs sporting director, Johan Lange, who's at Villa, was there, and his lad was playing.
Lovely.
And one of the parents got injured, and I was like, you wouldn't sign him now, would you? And he was laughing, saying, no way, injury record. So like, it was a joke, and we're laughing about it, but it's true. When you've got an injury record like him, Callum Wilson as well, Newcastle aren't going to let Callum Wilson go and bring in someone else who's injured even more than Callum Wilson. So I feel for Calvert-Lewin. He's going to have to maybe look at options that he might have thought he was better than, and go and prove himself he can be fit for a season.
Another player I want to talk to you about, Ben Chilwell. What's going on there?
Well, last season, 8 games, 8 appearances for Crystal Palace. It was always going to be tough with Mitchell.
Of course.
He's number one. You're never going to get him out the side. But again, Ali, it's another one. We talk about Sancho, we talk about Rashford, we talk about Sterling, only 30, we talk about Calvert-Lewin, 28. Chilwell's 28 years of age. Chelsea paid 45 million for him 5 years ago. I'm going to put this on you now. Have a guess how many games Chilwell has played for Chelsea in 5 years. Think about all the games there is. Probably 50, 55 games a season, isn't there?
It's quite. I mean, he's not. I know he's been injured, but he's got to play at least. It must be over 100.
107.
Aye.
But if you look at the amount of games that Chelsea will play in a season, you're talking 50, 55. So you talk about that, 260, 270 games over that time.
So effectively, he's played maybe
less than half.
He's played maybe 40% of the games.
So another one. A club's going to look at him, and it's like
Luke Shaw's another one.
Yeah,
I mean, Luke Shaw I think's a terrific player, but just injury keeps them out of games.
So imagine your Rangers boss now, and like Chilwell. Listen, we love Chilwell, outstanding player, played for Chelsea, played for his country, but you'd be like, 28. The injury's going to get worse the older you get as well. I'm not sure. I'd rather go for a youngster who's maybe a bit more hungry.
Mate, I'm not.
Less injuries.
I don't think I'm signing anybody, who misses.
Yes, you can't.
50% of his team games, unless it's a player that's not getting a game for reasons that there's a better player in his position or whatever it is. But somebody that's injured, unfortunately,
it's not their fault.
And I know it's not their fault, but you need players that can play.
Exactly, and I feel that if for instance, Crystal Palace last season, like he didn't really play much for them. Clubs will look at his loan spell last season and be like, well, he didn't play at Crystal Palace. The money that he'll be on at Chelsea will be very good money. So they're not going to want to pay big fee for him. A loan deal is going to be a lot of the wages. I see a chance that he stays at Chelsea because he doesn't get the move he wants.
Every chance, mate. Okay, what have we got? 9:45. We're heading into the last break. Just a reminder, Liverpool versus Newcastle is live on talkSPORT on the 25th of August. This is going to be absolutely box office when the news breaking today. Do Newcastle sell him before then? Surely not. Or do they sell him and he's not allowed to play? I don't even know what's happening next. Coming up, I do know what's happening next. My Son Dream Team. It's an absolute classic of a team. Fantasy stuff is easy. It's the first time I've ever got myself involved in that. You'll hear it next from your fantasy guru, none other than me. Isley brothers there with a bit of summer breeze. I didn't know that one, I had to be honest. Well, I knew it, but I had to just reinforce who I thought it was. And Ed, as usual, was spot on. Right, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. We might be heading for the middle of August, but there's a heat wave upon us. I'm reading that out and I don't know.
I know, I can't see.
I've got no idea. I can't see it. I don't know if I've told you. I cannot see.
Mate, it could be snowing out there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know.
Ed says it's brilliant. No, we've got a 17th view. Normally on the 17th floor here at talkSPORT Towers, we can look out that window and give you a full weather. There it is there. talkSPORT. That's where we used to look out. For those of you watching this now, that's the window that we used to look out and can't see a blinking thing now. There you go. Scrap your holidays to the chilly 29 degrees of Barbados. Head to Trafalgar Square in the capital and soak up the 33-degree heat. No need for Ibiza, guys. That's basically Arctic at 28. Head down on the 30 degrees at Southend Pleasure Beach. That's got to be a contradiction in terms. Southend Pleasure Beach. But anyway, folks in the Midlands, I know Ed, I know you're from Southend. That was the whole pun, the joke, the point of the joke even. Folk in the Midlands, you're hitting the heights of 33 degrees in Birmingham.
Wow.
Never mind that. Here's what it's all about. And if you're up north, get the sun cream ready. Newcastle, Glasgow, 28 degrees is coming your way. Typical, innit? I'm going away for a couple of days. It's 28.
What happened in Glasgow with a bit of sun?
Oh,
will people just lose their minds, Andy?
Oh, it's the same as Newcastle.
Everyone top off.
Taps off.
Centre.
Taps off. It's taps off if it gets above 10 degrees in Newcastle and Glasgow. So the bad news is, if you live in John O'Groats, you're only getting 20 degrees and a little bit of rain. John O'Groats is as far as you can go up north. I've been there, believe it or not, as far as you can go. How do you? I mean, you just love the sun, don't you?
I do like it, yeah, but
by the way, you got to be careful.
You got to be careful. Get your cream on, big gun. Alex McLeish used to say that. Get your cream on, big gun.
Oh, well, the big man.
Get your cream on.
We know the colour of the big man's barnet and his skin. Anybody needed protection for the sun, it's Big Ek.
He'd have loads on.
And by the way, due to the fact he's a lot nearer the sun than the rest of us as well, he's got to be extra careful, Big Ek, isn't he?
Brilliant.
Brilliant, big fella.
Yes.
Right, you know what time it is now, mate? It's time to select our dream team with the sun.
Okay.
Dream Team from the Sun on talkSPORT, the free-to-play fantasy football game where there's a share of 100 grand up for grabs. 18 plus, terms and conditions apply.
Okay, over the next week, 11 different talkSPORT presenters are going to be selecting 11 players for their dream team from the Sun. We've each got a budget of 50 million for a goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders and at least one striker. So I'm going to talk you through my team, and you've got one. Have you got one in front of you as well?
No, I'm going off yours, mate.
Okay, mate. For 4.5 million, goalkeeper, very, very important.
Who you gone for?
David Raya.
Yeah.
It's acceptable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going for a back four of Frimpong, Tarkowski, Gay and Juff.
Yep. I think Frimpong will get you more assists and goals than clean sheets.
So do I. Although, you know, Liverpool keep clean sheets. They've arguably the best goalkeeper. Well, I think they've got the best goalkeeper.
Yes, they have.
So, you know,
probably the best.
But they have. I do take the point. They've been losing goals.
Yes.
No, I lost obviously, and Arne Slot was. I wouldn't say he was concerned, but he did mention the fact his team had been losing one.
Diouf looks very good as well. New West Ham left back.
Yes.
He's putting some great crosses in pre-season for goals.
You're going to love my midfield. You are going to love my midfield.
Is it Rodgers, McGinn, and
Kamara? Just calm down. No, I've actually. I know. I looked at wee John McGinn, and I should have put John in it.
Yeah. What's your problem with John?
No, there's no problem at all with John.
Because he broke your record.
Aye. There's a bit of that. If he hadn't broke my record, he'd have been in. But I'm harsh and I'm bitter, and I'm leaving him at my team. Palmer, Hudson-Odoi, and Grealish.
Oh.
How's that grabbing you?
I like that. Hudson-Odoi will be more. Yeah, he'll score more goals this season because maybe Alanga's not there.
It's a nice.
I think it'll be a big part of the Forest
balance,
lineup,
isn't it?
Yeah, I like.
There's goals in it. There's
Armour
assists
will
in
always
it.
get you goals, takes penalties, takes free kicks as well at times.
And I'm ecstatic in my front three.
Oh, okay. Watkins. Any Villa players or what? What's your problem? Aren't you coming to Villa Park in a few days? I'm gonna make sure Tommy Jordan finds out this. Tommy Jordan's gonna know this. You know that.
I want to wind you up. It still works. Anyway, we're going for Mateta through the middle.
Yes.
Salah on the right hand side. Jared Bowen. Jared.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
I love Jared Bowen's work, don't you?
And I think Jared Bowen will get more goals this season because you have a Paqueta now.
Yeah.
The case is over. He'll be a better player this season because with that on your mind, Ali, what he had to go through last season.
Correct.
Lucas Paqueta. So, yeah, Bowen always scores goals.
Like him, good player, very good. Jack's in it. I've tried to pick one or two that I've got a little bit of work to do to get into that World Cup squad.
It's a big season for a lot of players.
You see my logic?
I like that. So you put in players that you think, you know what, they need to go out and score and get assists.
Absolutely.
I like it, mate. All over it.
So we've had some show this morning. The Isak, and obviously the quote, would, you know, when he's come out and said he's not going to play for Newcastle again, that's been the main talking point this morning, Gab. You and I think we're in agreement. We don't have a problem with him wanting a move. We don't have a problem with him saying, I want to go to Liverpool. But we do have a problem with the way he's gone about it, you know, and I think he's put Eddie Howe in a really unfortunate position. I think he's just about, well, listening to Newcastle fans and some of the texts and messages that are coming in, he's just kind of, I think he's kind of cut all ties and any bond that he had with the majority of them. And we're now at a stage where he's got to go.
Yeah. I think the problem with Isak as well, Ali, is because he's such an outstanding player and he knows he is. Yeah. He knows he's probably the best striker in the world, himself and Haaland. And he knows that he can probably go on to win a Ballon d'Or at the right club. He can go on to score record goals in a season. He can go on to win the Champions League, to win Premier Leagues. Wherever he's going to go and achieve, he will. But don't go about it this way. Have some respect for the club that adore you, the club that you're celebrating goals for in cup finals. You got them into the Champions League, a club that want to move forward and go and try and catch the top two, top three.
Flip side of the coin, if you're a Liverpool fan, clearly you want him because, in my opinion, he's probably the best centre-forward going last season, and he would be a tremendous asset to Liverpool. But would you be a little bit concerned about the way he's gone about his business at Newcastle?
I would be.
Because he could do the exact same to you?
I would be, but I just feel that now, like Liverpool, honest, like, will just look at it, you know what, he's going to improve my side.
Yeah.
That's not my problem. What I will say, Ali, to finish on is, if we get the team news at 6:45 p.m, a week Monday, and Isak's at Liverpool and he's starting, that could be record views and listeners for that game. Newcastle at home against Liverpool. Wow.
Could be.
Wow.
What are you up to today, mate? I've loved it this morning.
Not much today, mate. Just relaxing day. What about yourself?
I'm off to Italy.
Super Cup, yeah.
I'm off to Italy. We've got PSG versus Tottenham tomorrow night, which I'm really, really looking forward to.
Bit of food in some not nice.
I will be sitting having a nice glass of pasta somewhere north of Venice this evening.
You got a tough job, Ali.
It's a tough job.
Yeah, it's very difficult, mate.
It's an extreme.
A lot of travelling. It's tough.
It's a tough gig. Not easy, but I can tell you that now. Now, don't forget, Newcastle versus Liverpool is live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Jeff's hopefully back tomorrow with Gabby. Looking very much forward to that. Thank you very, very much for your company this morning. Really had a lot of fun. Up next is Jim and Simon. Stay with us.
Dream Team from the Sun on talkSPORT. Download the Dream Team app or visit dreamteamfc.com. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.